Chapter 41, Disqualification. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In front of the gate of the outer gate station, when Luo Xiu and his party arrived, there was already a sea of people. Being from the martial palace, one would not be treated specially by the outer sect. The 18 palace masters left Luo Xiu and others here and then entered the outer sect's garrison. In order to ensure the fairness of the assessment, the responsible examiner is an outer deacon, and the 18 palace masters will also watch. Mixed among the crowd, Luo Xiu could hear many people talking to each other. The Zaiwei sect only accepts 3 people every year. Even though we know there is little hope, there are still so many people coming to take the exam every year. Yes, I heard that there are quite a few masters coming this time. Those guys who came from the martial palace are all at the second level of Qi Si. What's so great about the second level of Qi Si? The Wang family in Yushan City has a genius. He is only 15 years old, and his cultivation has already entered the third level of Qi Si. Isn't it so perverted? A Qi Hai Sanlu under the age of 18 is enough to enter the outer gate. He is only 15 years old, my God. Look over there, it seems that there are people from the 18 cities' martial palace. Several of them are at the second level of Qi Si. There is a high chance that they can pass the assessment. Many people also looked at Luo Xiu and others. Not everyone will enter the martial hall to practice after the age of 10. There are also some secular families who have their own inheritance to cultivate their descendants. Generally, those who enter the martial hall to practice are from common people or disciples from ordinary small aristocratic families. At this moment, the door of the outer gate opened, and an old man with white hair and beard stepped out and said loudly, "Everyone, Zhang Luoyang, is the deacon of the outer gate and is responsible for the examination of this entry examination. Now everyone lines up in order. Conduct an assessment." Wow! That as soon as they heard that the assessment had begun, the crowd suddenly became noisy and chaotic. Many people began to rush to line up, hoping to be in front and go to the assessment first. Some of the martial arts disciples around Luo Xiu also moved and pushed forward desperately. Zhang Luoyang, staring at the old man in front of the outer gate, Luo Xiu narrowed his eyes slightly. It was this Zhang family ancestor who sent 3 disciples to assassinate him. Get away! At this moment, a loud shout came from behind Luo Xiu, and a young man with a strong build and strong muscles squeezed forward. Many people nearby who came to take the assessment were knocked over by his squeeze. This sturdy young man had amazing strength. Those who came to take part in the assessment were all Qihai warriors. Some were dissatisfied and wanted to take action, but he slapped him and flew him away. For a moment, other people nearby became afraid and quickly gave way to him. Luo Xiu was also in front of this young man. A strong wind hit him from behind his head. It was the strong young man who took action, intending to grab the boy in black and throw him aside. Luo Xiu's face turned cold, and he turned his head slightly to avoid the opponent's grasp. You still dare to hide? Get out of my way. Seeing that the black-clothed boy in front of him actually dodged his grasp, the sturdy young man sneered. His hands suddenly glowed with a faint green light, and his true energy condensed, and he curled his fingers into claws. What he displayed was clearly a martial skill, and coupled with his inherent brute strength, it was difficult for ordinary Qi and C level 2 people to compete with him. Roll! Luo Xiu's eyes were cold, and before the strong young man's fingers caught him, his right leg suddenly moved. Bang! The burly young man felt a strong force of energy hit his chest, and his tall and burly body flew out on the spot, knocking down several warriors behind him who came to participate in the assessment. In the world of martial arts, speed is the only thing that can't be broken. With Luo Xiu's shooting speed, no matter how good your martial arts skills are, my attack will already hurt you before you can hit me. Seeing this scene, many people nearby looked at Luo Xiu with fear. A few people who originally wanted to squeeze in front of him were secretly glad that they did not provoke the boy in black. Boy, you are looking for death. The sturdy young man stood up, 3 heads taller than Luo Xiu, and rushed towards Luo Xiu like an angry lion. Luo Xiu took a light step and dodged the attack of the strong young man. Then he hit the opponent's abdomen with a punch, and his strong energy exploded. The strong young man's body arched like a shrimp, and suddenly a mouthful of blood spurted out. Luo Xiu would never show mercy to such a self-righteous and bully guy. He raised his hand and slapped the strong young man away with a big mouth, and 2 bloody teeth flew out. Xuanhuan next to him felt his face was burning when he saw this scene. He had been beaten like this by Luo Xiu 2 days ago. Although the swelling had subsided after applying ointment, there were still some bruises. The sturdy young man got up again, his eyes almost ready to spit fire, but he did not dare to attack Luo Xiu again. "Boy in black, I remember you, just wait for me." The strong young man knew that he was no match, so he said a harsh word and ran to the back to line up dejectedly. The few people in front of Luo Xiu felt uncomfortable all over, but Luo Xiu had no intention of moving forward to grab the position and just stood in his own place. In fact, no one cares about this kind of fighting for position in the queue, because it is also a kind of competition. On the road of martial arts training, everything must be competed. The stronger you are, the more things you can win. The more you have, the more privileges you have. The concept of respecting the strong has long been ingrained. There are hundreds of people who come to take part in the assessment, and they are all young warriors who have reached the Qi realm under the age of 18. It is not bad that the 18 cities martial hall can only produce 1 or 2 such talents every year, and the entire Yunlong County, hundreds of people every year. Luo Xiu knew very well that the 14-year-old Qihai warrior was nothing among these hundreds of people, and it was even more insignificant when placed in the Xiaoyao outer sect and the inner sect, but he has full confidence, because it actually took him less than a year to reach this point from the 2nd level of body training. This achievement, if placed in the inner sect of Xiaoyao, absolutely no one can achieve it. This is why the master of Qingyun Palace values him so much, and even for his sake, he did not hesitate to offend Zhang Luliang, the deacon of the outer sect. Killed the head of the Zhang family, because Luo Xiu is from Qingyun Martial Palace. The better he performs after entering Xiaoyao sect, the higher his achievements will be, and as the master of Qingyun Palace, he will get more benefits. The first item of the outer sect assessment is a test of cultivation, similar to the black stone tablet in Qingyun Martial Palace. The second assessment is a test of martial arts, which determines the level of talent based on the level of martial arts practiced, the level of understanding, and the level of talent. The third item is to test the will. People who practice martial arts must have a firm will to achieve success. The theory of will is illusory, but Xiaoyao sect still has methods to test a person's willpower. The final 4th event is a competition. If you get the top 3, you can get a lot of bonus points. After the 4 assessments are completed, the examiner will determine the ranking based on the total score. The first place will receive 3 Qi refining pills and a 5th level martial arts. Luo Xiu didn't take the 5th grade martial arts seriously. From the treasure house of King Buchan Wu deep in the Baki mountain, he got 18 5th grade martial arts, as well as 6th grade martial arts and 7th grade martial arts. It's just that in recent times, Luo Xiu has put all his thoughts on Kuai Jian Ju and the Wheel of Life and Death, and has never spared any time to choose a martial art that suits him. The Qi refining pill can allow Qi realm warriors to break through a small realm after taking it. It is a good pill. What Luo Xiu values more is the Qi refining pill, which is not very valuable, because he has a lot of pills on hand, but they are too high level and he would not dare to take them based on his cultivation level. The stone tablet used to test the cultivation level is based on the level of the warrior's cultivation level. The brighter the light emitted, the higher the cultivation level. The first test will be comprehensively scored based on the warrior's age and cultivation level. 16 years old, 2nd level of Qi and C, 6 points. 18 years old, 2nd level of Qi and C, 3 points. The full score for each of the 4 assessments is 10 points. Master Qingyun Palace also told Luo Xiu that with his 14-year-old 2nd level Qi C cultivation, he should be able to get 8 points in the first test. Every year in the outer sex assessment, there is basically no hope for people with the 1st level of Qi and C. Even if they come, it is to gain some knowledge. Those who can pass the assessment and enter the outer sect are at least the 2nd level of Qi and C, and most of them are at the 3rd level. Suddenly, there was quite a commotion ahead. A short boy walked up to the stone tablet, put his palm on it, and circulated his energy. It's Su Ping, a young genius from the Su family in Xuanhuan City. It is said that he is also at the third level of Qi Si. Buzz, that a bright light lit up, and the crowd let out bursts of exclamations. 15 years old, third level of Qi Si, 9 points, that the whole place was in an uproar, and many young people with the second level of Qi Si couldn't help but feel a little desperate when they saw this result, because it was obvious that Su Ping would definitely occupy one of the 3 places to enter the outer gate. Not long after, there was another person who shocked the whole audience. He was the genius of the Wang family in Yushan City. His name was Wang Can, who was also 15 years old and ranked 3rd in Qihai. He scored 9 points. The test of cultivation continues. In addition to Su Ping and Wang Can, there are 2 more people who have the 3rd level of Qi Si cultivation. However, one of them is already 18 years old and only received a 6-point evaluation. The other one, a 14-year-old 3rd level Qihai named Xuanhuan, received a 10-point evaluation, the first full score. At this moment, it was Luo Xiu's turn. He walked up to the stone tablet and placed his palms on it. Under the movement of his true energy, the stone tablet glowed. However, unlike the light inspired by the true energy of other warriors at the second level of Qi Si, Luo Xiu's light was even more brilliant, completely comparable to that of the 3rd level Qi Si. Holy crap! It's another 3rd level Qi Si. Don't we, who are at the 2nd level Qi Si, have no chance? No, the Jinqi fluctuation of this boy in black is clearly the 2nd level of Qi Si, but the light he stimulates is equivalent to the 3rd level of Qi Si. Is there something wrong with the test stone tablet? People around him were talking a lot and expressed doubts about this result, as the examiner, Zhang Luoyang, cast his gaze over, frowned, and glanced down at the list. Qingyun City Martial Hall, 14 years old, Luo Xiu. Seeing this name, Zhang Luoyang's cloudy old eyes shone with coldness. More than 2 months ago, he secretly sent 3 disciples to Qingyun City to kill this kid, 2 at the 5th level of Qi Si and 1 at the 7th level of Qi Si. However, after so long, there has been no news from those 3 disciples. Now that this boy named Luo Xiu appears here, does it mean that his 3 disciples are in danger? In fact, Zhang Luoyang, who has a lifespan of hundreds of years at the 9th level of the Xiantian realm, does not care at all whether it is the life or death of his disciples or the life and death of the head of the Zhang family. What he cares about is face. Everyone knows that he is the ancestor of the Zhang family in Qingyun City. A teenage boy dares to let the Qingyun Martial Palace execute the head of the Zhang family. This is undoubtedly not giving him Zhang Luoyang face. So he thinks Luo Xiu deserves to die. Out of the corner of his eye, he glanced at the master of Qingyun Palace who was sitting next to him. Zhang Luoyang said solemnly, he is clearly at the 2nd level of Qi Si, but he used methods to inspire Qi that is comparable to the 3rd level of Qi Si. He doesn't follow the right path at a young age. Deprived of assessment qualifications. What? That the examiner's words suddenly caused an uproar among those who came to take part in the assessment. Chapter 42 Martial Arts Assessment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Deprived of qualifications for assessment, Luo Xiu himself was stunned. He had no idea that the ancestor of the Zhang family would be so shameless and would not miss any opportunity to deal with him. Zhang Luoyang, don't go too far. The master of Qingyun Palace also changed his face and shouted angrily. As he spoke, the aura of the half-step god-refining expert spread, making those nearby who came to take the assessment feel suffocated and oppressed. Although he is not as powerful as the master of Qingyun Palace, Zhang Luoyang, as an outer sect deacon, has the same status as the master of the Martial Palace. In addition, as the examiner of this outer sect examination, he is naturally not afraid of what will happen to the master of Qingyun Palace. I am the examiner of the assessment. Does Master Qingyun want to question my decision? Zhang Luoyang said with a sneer. Why do you deprive Luo Xiu of his assessment qualification? The master of Qingyun Palace said angrily. As I said just now, he is clearly at the 2nd level of Qi and Si, but he uses special means to activate the 3rd level of Qi and Si. This is tantamount to cheating. Shouldn't a person who is so sensational and has bad moral character be deprived of his qualifications for assessment? Fart. Master Qingyun's face turned livid. Luo Xiu has practiced pure yang kung fu, and his true energy is stronger and purer than others in the same realm. This situation is normal. Pure yang kung. Many warriors who came to take part in the assessment looked surprised, and looked at Luo Xiu with a hint of envy, because Chunyang Kung Fu is notoriously difficult to practice. Only 1 or 2 people in Yunlong County can master it in a few years. Many people nodded. If it is pure Yang Kung, it is reasonable and not surprising that the Qi C level 2 can show Qi cultivation comparable to the Qi C level 3. Snort. Zhang Luoyang snorted coldly, with stern eyes, and said, "You said that he has mastered pure Yang Kung Fu, but this is just a one-sided statement from your Qingyun Palace master. I have to personally investigate whether he has really mastered pure Yang Kung Fu." As soon as these words came out, the whole place was in an uproar again. For a warrior, if someone were to check the meridians, acupoints, and Dantian Qi Si, all his secrets would undoubtedly be revealed to others, and even his own life would be at risk. It is tantamount to being controlled by others, which is actually a taboo among warriors. Luo Xiu's expression also changed instantly. He never expected that Zhang Luoyang would make such a request. It was naturally impossible for him to let Zhang Luoyang investigate. Once the wheels of life and death in the Dantian Qi Si were discovered, trouble would inevitably arise. Moreover, with Zhang Luoyang's cultivation as a 9th-level innate martial artist, he could completely manipulate the investigation process, and even maybe just kill yourself. Let me ask, who is willing to let a person who has hatred with him explore the secrets of his life and death without any reservation? At this moment, Zhang Luoyang flashed and appeared directly in front of Luo Xiu. His voice was cold and he said, "I want to see if you have really mastered the pure Yang Kung Fu." Luo Xiu's first reaction was to retreat, but the tyrannical momentum of the innate 9th-level martial artist locked him in. The air around him seemed to be squeezed, making him like a wooden stake fixed in place, unable to move at all. "Old man, you are avenging your personal revenge." Luo Xiu roared angrily, looking at the master of Qingyun Palace, hoping that he would help. "Stop!" At this moment, a shout came, and everyone looked around and saw a woman walking through the outer door. Seeing this woman, everyone felt their eyes light up, while Luo Xiu's expression was full of astonishment. The woman wears a white dress, has long hair shawl, and her skin is as white as jade. Especially her holy temperament makes people feel relaxed and happy. Accompanied by 2 maids at her side, the woman in white skirt walked slowly, her red lips parted slightly. "I can testify that Luo Xiu has indeed mastered pure Yang Kung Fu." Looking at the woman in white dress in front of him, Luo Xiu was shocked, because this woman in the white dress is actually the original teacher of Qingyun Martial Hall, Lu Mengyao. Zhang Luoyang also followed the sound, and the hand that was originally grabbing Luo Xiu suddenly stopped and said respectfully, "Mississippi." At the same time, the masters of the 18 cities martial palace also stood up and saluted Lu Mengyao respectfully. Seeing this scene, Luo Xiu was filled with doubts. What is the identity of Lu Mengyao in Xiaoyao sect? "Deacon Zhang, I will testify for Luo Xiu. Do you have any objection?" This. Zhang Luoyang frowned, with a look of embarrassment on his face. "The lady came forward to testify, so my subordinates naturally dare not have any opinions. However, I am the chief examiner in the entrance examination. If I cannot handle it impartially, I am afraid I will let down the door." The Lord's Commission. "Deacon Zhang means that my intervention has made it difficult for you?" Lu Mengyao shouted coldly. "I don't dare." Zhang Luoyang lowered his head and said, "In this case, I will see how you deal with it impartially. It is a fact that Luo Xiu has mastered pure Yang Kung Fu." Lu Mengyao said slowly, and then someone brought tables and chairs for her to sit down and watch the entrance examination. Zhang Luoyang's expression was very ugly. He never expected that the young lady who had just returned would suddenly interfere at this moment. As for Master Qingyun, he could ignore the issue of face, but he dared not deny the eldest lady's face. "You brat, you're lucky to be able to get the sect leader's daughter to help you out." Zhang Luliang glared at Luo Xiu unwillingly. As far as he knew, Lu Mengyao had lived in Qingyun City for several years. Since the eldest lady has come forward to testify for you, you will be deemed to have passed the test of cultivation, Zhang Luliang said helplessly. Luo Xiu, 14 years old, Qi C level 2, 8 points. An 8-point rating isn't too high, but it's quite satisfactory and you can't find fault with it. The test and assessment continued. Luo Xiu stood in the crowd, looking at Lu Mengyao and saw her smiling at him. Who is this beauty? She makes the examiner so afraid. I heard that she seems to be the daughter of the outer sect master. Oh my God, with such a noble status, how do you know Luo Xiu? From some discussions among the nearby people, Luo Xiu probably knew something about Lu Mengyao's identity. The first test of cultivation lasted all morning, and in the afternoon, the second test, martial arts. In the first assessment, only one person received the highest score, a young man named Xuanhuan. Su Ping from Shuiyuan City and Wang Can from Yushan City both had 9 points, tied for second place. The next ones were all 8 points at the age of 14 and reached the second level of Qi C. There were 18 people in total. Luo Xiu was one of them. The cultivation test assesses the warrior's own talent in cultivation. Of course, there are also some cultivations that rely entirely on resources, so cultivation alone cannot explain anything. The second assessment of martial arts depends on the talent in martial arts. Even if you are taught by a famous teacher, if you don't have enough understanding and talent, it will be difficult to practice martial arts to a high level. For this level, Luo Xiu is full of confidence. If he has perfected the 4th grade Ben Lei sword technique, he will definitely achieve good results. As for Kuai Jian Ju, in a certain sense, it is not considered a martial skill, but a technique for exerting force. The location for the martial arts assessment was an open martial arts performance field. Each martial artist participating in the assessment walked onto the central competition stage in turn and displayed their best martial arts skills. The final score will be determined based on the level and realm of the martial arts practiced. 3rd grade martial arts Confeng Shadowless Palm, Xiaocheng realm, 6 points. The first person to take the stage was a 15-year-old martial artist with a second-level cultivation of Qi C. He got 7 points in the first test of cultivation. Compared with the cultivation level, this second level of martial arts assessment is much more difficult to score. Luo Xiu discovered that among this group of warriors who came to take the assessment, most of them were practicing 3rd grade martial arts, and only a handful of them were practicing 4th grade martial arts. Individuals come on stage one after another, and occasionally someone appears who has cultivated 3rd level martial arts to a great level, and can get 7 points. 4th grade Xuanhuan is perfect. 9 points. At this moment, as the examiner Zhang Luliang announced loudly, the whole audience was in an uproar, and everyone's eyes were drawn to the stage. It's Su Ping from Shuiyuan City. He scored 9 points in the first assessment, and he also got such a high score in the second assessment. It seems that he must occupy one of the 3 places to enter the outer sect. He has mastered the 4th level body technique. This talent is really powerful. Just as Su Ping stepped off the stage, another person stepped onto the stage. It was the genius of Yushan City who was tied with Su Ping, Wang Can. His appearance on the stage attracted everyone's attention, because Wang Can and Su Ping were the highlights of this entrance examination. I saw Wang Can practicing a set of sword skills on the stage. His true energy was blooming, and the sword light was sharp and roaring, majestic. 4th level swordsmanship mastery. 9 points. There were exclamations from the crowd again. Wang Can, who also had the potential to compete for first place in the assessment, performed no worse than Su Ping. At the age of 15, he has cultivated to the 3rd level of Qi C, and has reached the 4th level of martial arts. Such achievements will naturally make people extremely surprised. The test went on slowly, and finally, it was Luo Xiu's turn to play. Regarding Luo Xiu's appearance, there was a lot of discussion among the crowd. After all, during the first cultivation test, the examiner Zhang Luliang wanted to deprive him of the qualification for the assessment, and Lu Mengyao's unexpected appearance caused a lot of trouble. Little disturbance. This Luo Xiu is a genius from Qingyun Martial Hall. He can practice pure Yang Kung Fu, so his talent should be pretty good. Someone said with a smile. Unless he can cultivate the 4th level martial arts to a perfect state, it will be impossible for him to catch up with Su Ping and Wang Can. Some people disagree. Zhang Luoyang also stared at Luo Xiu on the competition stage. He was the person who least expected Luo Xiu to enter the outer gate. Chang, a sword light rose up on the stage. In an instant, the sword light was like thunder, and catharsis spread. 4th level swordsmanship, perfect. In the viewing gallery, the masters of the 18 cities martial palace sat up in shock. Even the master of Qingyun Palace himself was full of disbelief. He thought that Luo Xiu was at most a 4th level martial arts master, but he didn't expect that he had already reached the perfect state of cultivation. The so-called perfection is to fully understand all the mysteries of a martial art. It is almost impossible for a Qihai realm warrior to achieve this level. Some people may think that perfection is only a small level higher than Deshang, but in fact the gap between the two is huge. Lu Mengyao looked at Luo Xiu on the stage with a smile on her lips. This guy always does unexpected things. This. Zhang Luoyang's face became even more ugly. The better Luo Xiu performed, the greater the possibility of threatening him in the future. I am a 14-year-old 2nd level Qihai who has mastered pure Yang Kung Fu and has perfected the 4th level martial arts. He is a good prospect. Suddenly, a hearty laugh came from mid-air, and everyone looked up and saw a middle-aged man wearing a blue gown, standing in the air, looking down at Luo Xiu on the stage. Chapter 43, Impact of Thoughts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Master. Meet the sect master. Seeing this middle-aged man in blue shirt suddenly appearing here, Zhang Luoyang and the master of the 18 cities martial palace stood up and saluted him respectfully in mid-air. Many warriors who came to participate in the entry examination were also in an uproar and shock. To everyone, a person like the master of the outer sect is undoubtedly a legendary figure. At this moment, everyone's eyes looking at Luo Xiu on the competition stage were full of envy, jealousy and hatred, because the door owner seems to have a very high opinion of him. The 2nd level of Qi Si at the age of 14 may not be anything, but if you add the pure Yang Kung Fu and the 4th level martial arts to the great perfection, it will indeed be called amazing. Father. Lu Mengyao also stood up and saluted to the figure in the sky. No need to be formal, just get up. Sect Master Lu fell from the sky and said with a slow smile. I will personally preside over this year's entrance examination. Lu Men's subject said in an astonishing tone, since previous years, the entrance examination has been presided over by the outer sect deacons, and there has never been a precedent for the sect master to personally preside over it. This news undoubtedly excited the warriors who came to participate in the assessment, and they were all ready to do their best to perform well in front of the sect master. Is this the Luo Xiu you are talking about? Lu Mengyao's father's voice suddenly came to her ears. When he said this, Master Lu used sound transmission to enter the secret, so no one else around him could hear it. Lu Mengyao nodded, knowing his father's intention of coming in person. My father knows about his grudges with Zhang Luoyang. Since he is your savior, in this outer sect, my father will protect him from worries. Master Lu said. At this moment, Zhang Luoyang, who was suffocating in his chest, said loudly, Luo Xiu, 4th level martial arts perfection, 10 points. Although he felt it was impossible, Zhang Luoyang instinctively felt that this Lu sect master seemed to have come specifically for Luo Xiu. How noble is the master of the outer sect. What kind of bad luck did this little brat Luo Xiu have? On the competition stage, Luo Xiu smiled slightly, and his smile fell in Zhang Luoyang's eyes, making the ancestor of the Zhang family grind his teeth. The second martial arts assessment was relatively faster than the test of cultivation. The martial arts assessment ended before sunset. In the final result, except for Luo Xiu who got a perfect score of 10, most people got 6 and 7 points, a few got 8 points, and only Su Ping and Wang Can got 9 points. As for Mtlnovel, who received full marks in the first assessment, his performance was mediocre and he had only practiced a 5th grade martial arts to a minor level. This situation is very normal. It is obvious that Mtlnovel spends most of his time improving his cultivation and does not pay attention to martial arts practice. The remaining 2 assessments will be held tomorrow. According to the current rankings of the 2 assessment scores, among the hundreds of people, only the top 50 are eligible to participate in the last 2 assessments tomorrow, and all the remaining people will be eligible. All eliminated. The 3 places to obtain the qualifications to enter the outer gate will be completely revealed the next day. Returning to the residence of Yunlong County City, among the other 17 city martial arts geniuses who live with Luo Xiu, only Luo Xiu and Nye Xiaodai can continue to participate in tomorrow's assessment. The remaining more than 20 people have already was eliminated, although they are all at the second level of Qi Si. Some of them are a bit older after all, and their scores in the first test are not high. As for martial arts, the requirements for talent and understanding are higher. If you want to be ranked at the top 50 is really difficult. In the courtyard, many people were dejected. Su Qiusheng has also broken through to the Qi Si realm. It's a pity that he missed this entrance examination. The master of Qingyun Palace shook his head and sighed. Su Qiusheng's understanding of martial arts is extremely high, and he has perfected the spear technique at the 9th level of body training. Unfortunately, his talent in training is a bit unsatisfactory, and he was not able to break through to the Qi Si realm until he was 18 years old. Regarding this point, Luo Xiu also expressed some regrets. Whether he can join Xiaoyuemen before the age of 18 is an opportunity to change the fate of warriors. Once missed, it will be difficult to achieve anything without sufficient resources and inheritance. Unable to enter Xiaoyuemen, Su Qiusheng will be destined to become a member of the Qingjia Guards, at least enough to occupy a place in Qingyun City. The night was as cold as water. Luo Xiu sat cross-legged in the room and took out a martial arts secret book from the storage ring. These martial arts secrets were all obtained from the treasure house left by King Buckenwu. Luo Xiu had never been able to find time to study them in the past. The only 7th grade martial arts was picked up by Luo Xiu first. The Vajra Overlord body technique is a 7th grade body refining technique that condenses the true energy and tempers the body like a warrior. It can temper the body to the point where it can be compared to a low-grade warrior on earth. Luo Xiu took a cursory glance at this martial arts, but he didn't expect it to be a rare body training technique. In the past, Luo Xiu had only heard about the body training method, but had never seen it. However, he also knew that the body training method was much more valuable than other martial arts of the same level. If you can master this Vajra body technique, your physical body will be comparable to that of a low-level warrior on earth, and you will have a huge advantage in both attack and defense. Luo Xiu shook his head. Unfortunately, the minimum threshold for this martial arts practice requires a cultivation level above the 3rd level of innate realm. Putting this martial arts away, Luo Xiu then looked at other 6th grade martial arts. Afterimage Flying Flower Fist. The punch is like an afterimage, flying as expected. It contains 3 levels of hidden power, instantly destroying the opponent's meridians and internal organs. It is vicious and domineering. That this is a relatively insidious martial art. When used, it looks like a 3rd grade martial art, Shadow Fist. However, if anyone dares to despise it, they will be killed immediately if they are hit. However, Luo Xiu still discovered that this martial arts also has minimum requirements for practice, which must be at the 9th level of Qi Si. There are 9 levels of martial arts. The 1st to 3rd levels are suitable for body training martial artists, the 4th to 6th levels are suitable for Qihai warriors, and the 7th to 9th levels require innate martial arts masters to practice. The higher the level of martial arts, the greater the power, and the requirements for the warriors themselves are also higher. For example, the 7th level martial arts Vajra Overlord body technique. A normal 7th level martial arts requires only 1 innate level to be practiced, but this martial arts requires an innate level 3 or above. Luo Xiu is currently at the 2nd level of Qi Si and can practice 4th level martial arts. If he wants to practice the more powerful 5th level martial arts, he must reach the 3rd level of Qi Si. Luo Xiu picked up a 5th level martial arts book, and as he expected, it had the requirements for Qi Si level 3 or above. There are so many advanced martial arts, but you can only watch them but not practice them. Luo Xiu laughed dumbly and could only put away all these martial arts secret books helplessly. The next morning, I came to the outer gate station again. There was still a huge crowd of people. Even those eliminated warriors came here early to watch the battle. The current ranking is that Luo Xiu, Su Ping, and Wang Can are tied for first place. The third assessment is a test of willpower. The theory of will is illusory and is said to be closely related to the soul and state of mind of the warrior. It is said that martial arts practitioners have begun to cultivate the power of soul and thought since their innate days, and their state of mind is also related to whether a warrior can break through the inner demons of martial arts in the future. This is an extremely open field that can allow 50 people to conduct assessments at the same time. There are countless complex patterns engraved on the ground. It is a large-scale formation. It is said that 3 fourth-level formations were invited from the Formation Masters Guild. The one carved by Dharma Master is extremely valuable. Buzz. As the bright light rose up, the moment the formation was opened, the 50 warriors inside the formation all felt the impact of their souls and wills. Luo Xiu didn't know much about his state of mind, but since he obtained the life and death bead, his many experiences had caused his state of mind to undergo subtle transformations. Firstly, he made it clear that his training goal is to reach the pinnacle of martial arts, and secondly, the tempering between life and death made him unruffled, not easily impressed by external objects, and firm-willed. In the process of the impact of his will, there will be many illusions. Luo Xiu only felt that the scene in front of him was constantly changing, and he was in a sea of knives and fire. What a realistic illusion. Although the sword was attached and the flame spread, Luo Xiu was calm and did not feel any pain, but beside him, several people fell to the ground, screaming and sweating profusely. However, these people took the mountain of swords and the sea of fire as real. They felt that they were chopped into pieces by the swords, and then burned to ashes by the flames. Their mood collapsed in an instant. In fact, these people can be ranked in the top 50 among hundreds of people. Their talents are pretty good, but in terms of mood and will, they are really far behind and lack the tempering of life and death. In just a short moment, the illusion of mountains of swords and seas of fire disappeared, and a strong smell of oil smoke filled his nose. The surrounding scene suddenly turned into a big pot, with hot oil boiling, and corpses being fried in it. Such a gruesome scene caused many warriors who had just supported the illusion of mountains of swords and seas of fire to instantly collapse, roll their eyes, and faint on the ground. Scenes of illusions continued to appear, and before they knew it, the 50 warriors who participated in the assessment experienced 9 different illusions. Meng Yao, this Luo Xiu is really good. He can actually survive the 9th level of illusion. In the audience, the leader of the Lu family smoothed his hair and beard and said with an appreciative smile, as the leader of the outer sect and a martial arts master at the 9th level of refining the gods, the leader of the Lu sect has a very high vision. The reason why he looked at Luo Xiu differently was actually because he was his daughter's savior. The 9 layers of illusion is only the first level of this 4th level peak formation. There are many people in the outer sect who can handle it. However, among the 50 people, Luo Xiu's performance was already excellent. Half of them had fallen down, and the remaining people were clenching their teeth, trembling, or looking ferocious and suffering. Support. I wonder if this kid can withstand the impact of thoughts after the 9th level of illusion. Master Lu said with a smile. Father, we can wait and see. Lu Mengyao also said with a smile. She was full of confidence in Luo Xiu. Master Lu's brows furrowed slightly, and he was keenly aware that his daughter did not seem to treat Luo Xiu like an ordinary friend. At this moment, Luo Xiu, who had passed through the 9th level of illusion, was in a desert. Boom! Luo Xiu instantly felt an idea rushing toward him. His head seemed to be hit by a hammer, making him dizzy, spinning, and blurred his consciousness. Bang! 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 At this moment, everyone else in the formation fell unconscious, including the 2 geniuses Su Ping and Wang Can. Because of the power of this thought impact, many innate martial arts masters found it difficult to resist, but in the field, Luo Xiu was the only one still sitting cross-legged, his body swaying slightly, but he never fell down. At this scene, even the aloof and far-sighted Master Lu couldn't help but feel a little moved. This little guy is only 14 years old, but his will is so strong. The 2nd level of Qi Si has a state of mind and will comparable to that of an innate martial artist. If in the future, when you grow up, you will definitely achieve something. Even I, when I was at the 6th level of the Qi Si, couldn't withstand the impact of my thoughts. Master Lu's eyes narrowed slightly, no wonder Mengyao cares about him so much, but she wants to be with me, Lu Feichen my daughter needs to be even better. In the second level, the power of the impact of thoughts will continue to superimpose and become stronger and stronger. Only a strong person at the peak of the 9th level of refining the gods can withstand them all. Chapter 44 Ranking First. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After withstanding the first wave of thought impact, a more ferocious power of thought came over. Luo Xiu was inside the formation, his body swaying, and he gritted his teeth and persisted. Boom! That it was as if a sword had pierced Luo Xiu's soul. Almost instantly, Luo Xiu's will collapsed instantly, his eyes blackened, and he passed out. Buzz! The formation stopped operating, and figures jumped out one after another, bringing out Luo Xiu and others who had passed out in the formation. After half a stick of incense, everyone gradually woke up from their coma. Many people were still frightened and their faces were pale. Luo Xiu's mental condition was not optimistic either. The moment his will collapsed due to impact, those who experienced the tearing and shattering pain once would never be willing to experience it a second time. Zhang Luoyang stepped forward and announced everyone's scores in this assessment. Each level of the 9 levels of illusion is worth 1 point. Those who can withstand the first wave of thought impact will directly receive 10 points. Zhang Luoyang's old face was ugly, because Luo Xiu's performance was once again unexpected. Even the leader of the outer sect was moved, making him feel a great threat. In this assessment, only Luo Xiu himself got 10 points, surpassing Su Ping and Wang Can in one fell swoop, temporarily ranking first. In this way, only the last test is left, the competition. When it was announced that Luo Xiu had received perfect scores again, everyone's eyes fell on him again, especially Su Ping and Wang Can. Their expressions turned gloomy. As geniuses in the family, they were so arrogant. At this moment, they were actually suppressed by a person with a lower cultivation level than themselves. They suddenly felt a deep crisis. Feel. In the competition, I will definitely defeat you, because the first place will definitely fall into my hands. Wang Can walked up to Luo Xiu with a proud look on his face and a cold look in his eyes. Luo Xiu could feel Wang Can's hostility towards him, but he could understand it. After all, the rewards for the entrance examination were only for the first place, especially the reward for the 5th grade martial arts. Apart from Luo Xiu, for everyone to other warriors who come to take part in the assessment, their value is far more precious than 3 qi refining pills, but understanding is understanding. What Luo Xiu hates most in his life is this kind of condescending, arrogant guy. Therefore, Luo Xiu turned a deaf ear to Wang Can's declaration of war, closed his eyes, and didn't even bother to pay attention. Because the previous test of will made everyone not in a very good state at the moment, the last test of the competition was placed in the afternoon. After 2 or 3 hours of rest, 50 Qihai warriors gathered in the martial arts arena again. The rule of the competition assessment is that the winner can get the points from the loser. For example, if someone can defeat Luo Xiu, he can get 28 points from him. The method of fighting was still drawing lots. The first opponent Luo Xiu drew was a 16-year-old boy with a strong physique, bronze skin shining with a metallic luster, and a cultivation level at the 2nd level of Qi Si, named Xuanhuan. I didn't expect that I would be so lucky to meet you. Xuanhuan walked onto the competition stage with high spirits and a smile on his face. He was also at the 2nd level of Qi Si. He was confident that he could defeat Luo Xiu. What really makes him happy is that as long as he defeats this kid, he can get the highest 28 points from him. It's Xuanhuan from the Zheng family in Gaoi City. Hey, I heard that the Zheng family has a 4th level body refining martial arts called Bronze Head Iron Bone Kung Fu. I once defeated a 3rd level Qi Si master. He is a ruthless character who can leapfrog challenges. Luo Xiu was excellent in the first 3 assessments, but this time he meets Xuanhuan, who is 2 years older than him. He might lose here. Many spectators in the arena were looking at the field attentively, looking forward to this fight. Of course, based on Luo Xiu's previous performance, pure Yang Kung and 4th level martial arts perfection, most people still think that Luo Xiu has a higher chance of winning, but as for the actual strength, it still needs to be seen in actual combat. Some people are very talented, but their combat effectiveness is very poor. Vajrapani. Zhengkuan rushed towards Luo Xiu with striding strides, as powerful as a tiger, with golden light lingering between his palms. He displayed a third-level martial skill, but its power was comparable to that of a fourth-level martial arts master. Apparently, Zhengkuan had practiced Vajrayana, a third-grade martial art, to the level of Dzogchen. In the second assessment, he received a score of 9 points. However, what was surprising was that Luo Xiu did not draw his sword, but instead dodged and punched out, second-grade martial arts, Dragon Tiger Fist. There is clearly a fourth-grade perfect sword technique that is not used, but the boxing technique of the second-grade martial arts is used. Is this guy so trusting? Many people's expressions changed, thinking that Luo Xiu was really stupid for making such an unwise move. On the competition stage, Zhengkuan had a sneer on his lips. He thought that his chances of winning might be slim. After all, his opponent was a guy who had perfected the fourth-level swordsmanship, but this guy actually used second-grade martial arts to fight against me. Luo Xiu, you are destined to lose. Zhengkuan laughed loudly and pushed the power of the Vajrapani to the limit, but before his attack hit Luo Xiu, his left cheek had already been hit hard by Luo Xiu with a tiger move. The expression on Zhengkuan's face froze instantly. Bang! He felt as if his face had been hit by a hammer, his strong body flew out, and a bloody tooth flew out. Not only that, Luo Xiu's punch contained pure and powerful qi. Zhengkuan fell to the ground, with stars in his eyes, and wanted to stand up. He tried several times, but could not stand up. There was dead silence in the audience, and you could hear a needle drop. One move. Luo Xiu actually defeated Zhengkuan with just one move. The bronze head iron bone kung fu practiced by Zhengkuan is extremely defensive. It can't even withstand Luo Xiu's punch. It's not that Zhengkuan is too weak, but that Luo Xiu is too strong. His qi is so pure and powerful that Zhengkuan's bronze head iron bone kung fu cannot defend him at all. Luo Xiu's attack speed is too fast. Strike from behind and win with one move. Thinking of this, many people's expressions froze again and became weird. It stands to reason that Luo Xiu has perfected the fourth-grade sword skills, and his best skill should undoubtedly be swordsmanship. And he has already used a second-grade swordsmanship so well, so how strong should his swordsmanship be, and what are its capabilities? How fast? If he uses a sword, I'm afraid he can kill Zhengkuan with just one sword strike. No wonder he didn't draw his sword. Did he not want to hurt anyone? The aloof Master Lu could not help but re-evaluate Luo Xiu. Mengyao, you have good taste. Looking at his daughter beside him, he suddenly said this for no reason. Lu Mengyao was startled. Father, you know your daughter better than your father, how can you not see your thoughts? But if he wants to be worthy of my daughter, he must become the number one in the outer sect before he is 18 years old and enter the inner sect. Lu Feichen said with a smile. Dad. Lu Mengyao understood what her father meant this time, and a blush suddenly appeared on her pretty face. Luo Xiu walked down from the competition stage. He turned a blind eye to the looks of envy, jealousy, and awe, and instead turned his attention to Lu Mengyao, who was sitting next to the master of the outer sect. He is very confident in his own strength. Without Zhang Luoyang's interference, he is absolutely sure to win the first place in the assessment. You left me a message and said you would wait for me at Xiaoyumen, and now I'm here. This is what Luo Xiu was thinking at the moment. Lu Mengyao also saw Luo Xiu's gaze, and the blush on her face suddenly became even hotter, as if she didn't dare to look at him. She originally thought that it would take at least another year or two for Luo Xiu to enter Xiaoyao's sect, but she didn't expect that this day would come so quickly and suddenly. Is this what it feels like to like someone? Lu Mengyao couldn't help but have this thought in her mind. Although she was 9 years older than Luo Xiu, for martial arts practitioners, as long as they break through to the innate realm, they have a lifespan of 300 to 500 years. The difference of 9 years is not the same. What kind of, the disease of Huiyang Jumai no longer exists, and Lu Mengyao is confident to reach the innate realm, and even the realm of refining gods, and Luo Xiu's talent is even better than hers. As long as her father agrees, there is still a high chance that the two of them will be together. While Lu Mengyao was thinking about this, the assessment on the competition stage was still going on. The loser will be eliminated directly, and the winner will get more points. Soon, the first round of competition ended. Zhang Luoyang stood up and announced the rules of the second round. The remaining 25 people, those at the bottom of the rankings, can challenge the people at the top. If the challenge is successful, they can replace the opponent's ranking. The top 3 people in the end will become the official disciples of Ziyuewei sect. Nowadays, Luo Xiu is ranked first, followed by Wang Can in second place, followed closely by Su Ping. There is no doubt that if the people at the bottom of the ranking want to fight for a place to become an outer disciple, the 3 of them will have to face many challenges. First, the 25th ranked girl stepped onto the competition stage. The opponent she wanted to challenge was Su Ping, who was ranked third. In just a few moments, the challenge failed. Immediately afterwards, individuals ranked 24, 23, 22, one after another came on stage, some challenging Su Ping, and some challenging Wang Can. However, the final result is that without exception, all challenges fail. Su Ping and Wang Can are both at the 3rd level of Qi Si, 4th level martial arts masters, and their strength is among the best among everyone. However, among the people at the bottom of the ranking, there are also masters of the 3rd level of Qi Si, but they are relatively older. They are all 17 or 18 years old. At this moment, another girl stepped onto the competition stage. It was Nie Xiaodai, a talented girl from the New Rock City Martial Hall. Her points ranked 13th in the rankings. Holding a spear in his hand, Nie Xiaodai was dressed in red and had a heroic appearance, which could be said to have attracted the attention of the whole audience. A woman with high talent, strong strength, and long and heavenly beauty will undoubtedly attract more attention than Luo Xiu. Just when everyone was guessing who Nie Xiaodai would challenge, she raised her beautiful hand and pointed at Luo Xiu. I challenge you. She actually challenged Luo Xiu. That the whole place was in an uproar. They had challenged Luo Xiu several times before, but no one chose to challenge Luo Xiu. After all, the previous battle between Luo Xiu and Zheng Kuan had shown extremely tyrannical strength. Luo Xiu was not surprised that Nie Xiaodai chose to challenge him, because after Nie Xiaodai lost to him in Qingyun Martial Hall, he had always promised to defeat him. This battle is inevitable. Luo Xiu stepped onto the competition stage and said calmly, "Let's take action." Back then, he didn't draw a sword, and he could defeat her with just the strong inner strength gained from practicing pure Yangkung. Now, his strength is even worse than before, and Nie Xiaodai is even less likely to be his opponent, but in this case, Luo Xiu would naturally not say it, otherwise it would be contempt and humiliation for Nie Xiaodai. The sky is full of green clouds. Nie Xiaodai's delicate body jumped up, her red clothes flying, the spear flashed with azure light, and when she stabbed it, it was like a blue light, piercing the air. Whistling fiercely, she practiced the 4th-grade marksmanship of the new stone martial palace and reached the level of Deshang. Except that her cultivation was slightly worse than that of Su Ping and Wang Can, she was basically on par with them in other aspects. Luo Xiu moved sideways and disappeared instantly, causing Nie Xiaodai's sharp shot to miss. So fast, that Nie Xiaodai secretly thought that something was wrong. Since she lost to Luo Xiu, she had practiced hard and thought that her strength had greatly improved. However, she did not expect that Luo Xiu's movement speed was faster than before. The 4th level body technique is perfect. There was an exclamation again from the audience. One person possesses 2 perfect levels of 4th level martial arts. What kind of evil talent is this? Tiger style. Luo Xiu's figure appeared on Nie Xiaodai's right side and punched out with a roar. Chapter 45. The sword comes out. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Luo Xiu's punch seemed ordinary, but it was accompanied by a loud tiger roar, and the light of true energy burst out, as if it turned into a white tiger, and fiercely rushed towards Nie Xiaodai. The fist belt roared, and there seemed to be sound waves visible to the naked eye rippling and spreading in the air, causing many people in the audience to feel their eardrums vibrating and their blood boiling. What a powerful boxing technique! It has captured the essence of dragon and tiger fist, and has even surpassed the 2nd level and reached a whole new level. That among all the people, in terms of vision, Lu Feichen, the leader of the outer sect, was undoubtedly the leader. He could see at a glance that the second-grade martial art Dragon Tiger Fist, when used in Luo Xiu's hands, had transcended the boxing itself and surpassed the so-called perfection level. As the saying goes, the one who is better than the blue is the one who surpasses the blue, and transcends perfection, which means he is so extraordinary that he can use ordinary martial arts to exert power that far exceeds his own. Dai Wuxian technique. Although Nia Xiaodai was frightened, she remained calm in the face of danger. She tapped her toes lightly on the ground, and her delicate body spun in mid-air, floating into the distance. At the same time, she raised the spear in her hand, and her red clothes rustled in the wind, resisting the strong aftermath of Luo Xiu's punch. Boom! The sound of air bursting came from the competition stage. Luo Xiu's punch did not hit Nia Xiaodai, but the aftermath of the strong wind still blew her away and almost fell from the stage. What a wonderful movement! Luo Xiu praised. When the two of them fought in the Qingyun Martial Hall, Nia Xiaodia's body skills were far from as sophisticated as they are now. He obviously lost to his hard training as a logistics practitioner. Not only was his marksmanship more powerful, but also his fourth-level body skills. Cultivation is complete, the fourth-level marksmanship and body skills are perfect. If he were placed in the previous entrance examination, he would basically be in the top 3. If Nia Xiaodai challenges either Su Ping or Wang Can, there is a certain chance that he can win, but the one she chose to challenge was Luo Xiu, whose strength had only revealed the tip of the iceberg from beginning to end. Therefore, after only 7 moves, Nia Xiaodai was already panting heavily, and was forced to the edge of the competition stage by Luo Xiu using the Chiman escape technique combined with the Dragon Tiger Fist. Snapped! Luo Xiu punched out, and his inner energy surged, shaking the spear, causing Nia Xiaodia's figure to become unstable immediately, and she fell from the competition stage. Luo Xiu didn't use all his strength with this punch, so Nia Xiaodai landed firmly and was not injured. However, neither Zheng Kun nor the stronger Nia Xiaodai could make Luo Xiu draw his sword. How strong is his sword? Everyone in the audience held their breath and focused, full of curiosity about the sword Luo Xiu was carrying behind him. Of course, some people think that Luo Xiu's inability to draw a sword is purely a sign of contempt for others, in order to show his tyranny. However, only Luo Xiu himself knew that since he had mastered the quick sword art, his swordsmanship had reached a completely new realm. Far beyond the so-called fourth-grade perfection, a sword is a murder weapon, and when you draw a sword, you will see blood. This is the reason why Luo Xiu never draws his sword. After all, it is just a martial arts test. There is no need to hurt other people unless it is a last resort. Otherwise, even Nia Xiaodai would never be able to withstand his sword, let alone defeat after 8 moves. Unknowingly, the challenge for the third-place finisher soon ended. Next, there will be a competition between the top 3. I give up the challenge. Su Ping stood up and spoke directly. Everyone present was not surprised by Su Ping's choice. He was good at body skills and was not sure that he could defeat Wang Can, who was good at swordsmanship. Moreover, he was already in the top 3 and could definitely enter the Ziyuewei sect without having to fight hard. At this moment, a figure jumped up and landed on the competition stage. This person is surprisingly the second-ranked person, Wang Can. Wang Can's move was undoubtedly to challenge Luo Xiu, and it suddenly heightened the atmosphere of the audience to the extreme. Wang Can is a master of fourth-grade swordsmanship. It is said that he is also practicing the Wang family's fourth-grade internal skill ice chi refining technique. With Wang Can's strength, he should be able to force Luo Xiu to use his sword, right? Amid everyone's expectations, Luo Xiu boarded the competition stage. One is a 14-year-old second-level Qihai who practices pure Yang Kung and has perfected the 4th-level swordsmanship. One is a 15-year-old third-level Qihai who has practiced 4th-level internal strength and achieved great success in 4th-level sword skills. In terms of martial arts, Luo Xiu is better, but Wang Can's cultivation level is slightly higher than Luo Xiu's. It is not yet known which one is stronger and which one is weaker. On the competition stage, Wang Can stared at Luo Xiu, his body filled with an icy aura, causing the temperature within a few feet centered around him to suddenly drop a lot. Of course, this chill is not due to ice attribute power, but because of the special technique Wang Can practices, which produces special effects. However, if you can cultivate to the innate realm with this technique, you can cultivate the ice energy that truly contains the attribute of ice. Judging from the aura, this Wang Can is almost comparable to the fourth level of Qi Si. Zhang Luliang stared closely at the two people in the field. He very much hoped that Wang Can could defeat Luo Xiu. It would be best to destroy Luo Xiu or beat him half to death. Luo Xiu, I said, this first place will definitely belong to me. Wang Can's face was filled with incomparable confidence, and he sneered, if you think that I am only a master of fourth-level swordsmanship, then you are afraid going to be disappointed. Wang Can raised the long sword in his hand. A few months ago, I was practicing fighting monsters in the deep mountains. I accidentally explored a ruins and got a Duanyue Feiguang sword, which is a top-grade human-level sword. Not only that, he also obtained a 5th-grade mountain-breaking sword technique and a 5th-grade flying light body technique. I have practiced these two martial arts to a small level. They are more perfect than your 4th-grade sword technique. They are only stronger but not weaker. As Wang Can said these words, the masters of the 18 cities martial palace and the spectator seats couldn't help but be moved. However, 5th-level martial arts is nothing to Lu Feichen, the leader of the outer sect, but it is quite impressive that Wang Can, a 15-year-old boy, can have such an opportunity. Opportunity is something that can be encountered but cannot be sought. This world is vast and endless, lasting for millions of years. There are many ancient and mysterious ruins. There are many lucky people who benefit from them, leap over the Dragon Gate, and become famous all over the world. Although the opportunity to inherit the 5th-grade martial arts can only be regarded as ordinary, this opportunity is not available to everyone. Generally speaking, the minimum threshold for practicing 5th-grade martial arts is the 3rd level of Qi Si. Wang Can just meets the requirements. He has mastered the 5th-grade martial arts in a few months. His talent in martial arts is obviously very high. It is precisely because of this opportunity that Wang Can is so confident that he is bound to win the reward for first place in the entry examination. The sword has no eyes. I advise you to admit defeat, otherwise it will be bad if it hurts you. Wang Can said coldly. Ever since he received the 5th-level martial arts inheritance, he has regarded it as the biggest secret, fearing that it would bring disaster to the family, but now that he is about to become a disciple of the Ziyuewei sect, he no longer needs to hide, and his whole person appears to be more sharp-edged and arrogant. Luo Xiu couldn't bear it when someone acted condescending in front of him. He couldn't help but sneered and said indifferently, is 5th-level martial arts amazing? What a loud tone. Wang Can's eyes became even colder. Do you believe I can defeat you in 3 moves? That when he said this, a powerful and fierce aura emerged from Wang Can's body, as if his whole body had turned into a knife, which made people shudder. No one thought that he was talking big when he said he could defeat Luo Xiu within 3 moves, but they took it for granted, because he practiced 5th-grade martial arts, which was far from comparable to 4th-grade martial arts. Defeat me in 3 moves. Unexpectedly, Luo Xiu laughed loudly and glanced at Wang Can disdainfully. I can defeat you with just 1 move without using 3 moves. Do you believe it or not? 1 move. Countless people in the audience were stunned, staring at Luo Xiu on the stage as if they were looking at monsters. At the 3rd level of Qi Si, Wang Can, who practices 5th-grade martial arts, said that he could defeat Luo Xiu with 3 moves, but Luo Xiu actually sneered at him, saying that he could defeat Wang Can with 1 move. At this moment, Luo Xiu unexpectedly showed his strong side. Logically speaking, Luo Xiu's original personality was relatively low-key. The reason why he was so high-spirited and sharp at this moment was because Lu Mengyao was looking at him. How can I tolerate others being arrogant in front of the woman I like? Hearing that Luo Xiu actually said that he could defeat him with 1 move, Wang Can's face turned livid, and his chest was filled with rage. You're bringing this upon yourself. Clang. Wang Can suddenly drew his sword, and the icy cold light on the blade condensed, and he slashed towards Luo Xiu fiercely. The entire competition stage was shrouded in an icy atmosphere, and frost even condensed on the ground, causing many people in the audience to feel the bone-deep chill and shiver. Relying on the inner energy of the 3rd level of Qi Si, coupled with the top-grade human-level war sword and 5th-grade sword skills, Wang Can's sword is full of power. The blade struck like an iceberg, and all 4 levels of the Qi Si were terrified and avoided the sharp edge. Facing such a powerful Wang Can, how could Luo Xiu win with one move? In the eyes of everyone, Luo Xiu's words about defeating the enemy with one move were nothing more than joking and angry words. Looking at the unparalleled and icy-cold sword, Luo Xiu remained calm and composed. 5th level swordsmanship, nothing more than that. His voice was very calm, but it seemed to contain some kind of magical power. His palm slowly stretched out and grasped the hilt of the sword behind him. Sword out. In an instant, everyone saw a flash of black light. Chang! Chang! Drawing out the sword and sheathing it, the whole action is done in one go, without any pause. Puff! Wang Can's figure flew backwards, blood splattered on his chest, and he fell several meters away. This is impossible. How could I lose? Wang Can couldn't believe that his 5th level swordsmanship, which he was proud of, was defeated by one move. Wang Can couldn't believe it. He looked like he was hysterical, his eyes were dull. Suddenly, Wang Can's eyes were red, and he rushed towards Luo Xiu like a madman, shouting, "The number 1 is mine, no one can take it away, I will kill you." Bang! As soon as Wang Can rushed over, Luo Xiu kicked Wang Can mercilessly, directly on the chest. Wang Can spat out another mouthful of blood, several ribs were broken on the spot, and his body flew upside down like a kite with broken strings. But at this moment, Wang Can completely lost his mind and collapsed, similar to a state of obsession. He was not aware of the pain, and his eyes were scarlet, and he rushed over again. Luo Xiu frowned and made a horizontal cut with his palm, trying to knock Wang Can unconscious so that he would not be finished. Stop! At this moment, Zhang Luoyang, the examiner, flashed a cold light in his eyes, shouted angrily and rushed forward. He appeared between Luo Xiu and Wang Can, striking out with both hands at the same time. Bang! Wang Can was immediately thrown away by the tyrannical wind of his palm. He fell down under the competition stage and fell unconscious on the spot. At this time, there was also a palm wind hitting Luo Xiu, but unlike the palm wind that hit Wang Can, Luo Xiu could feel the sharp murderous intention from the palm wind that hit his face. Chapter 46, Secret Murder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Clang! At the moment when Zhang Luoyang's palm wind attacked, the shadow sword behind Luo Xiu was unsheathed again. The black sword light was like thunder and lightning, splitting the palm wind from the middle, but the powerful energy of the innate martial artist was still as vast and majestic as the sea, and Luo Xiu was like a lone boat in a storm, and capsized in an instant. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out, and Luo Xiu felt that all his bones were broken, and a cold energy penetrated his bones and invaded his meridians. Zhang Luoyang, you are so brave. The master of Qingyun Palace appeared on the arena and caught Luo Xiu, but found that Luo Xiu had fainted and many meridians in his body were broken. What do you mean by that, Master Qingyun? I separated them to avoid casualties in the fight. Zhang Luoyang snorted coldly, not caring about the threat of Master Qingyun. Master is here, how can you disrupt the entrance examination? Not only was Zhang Luoyang fearless, he also bit Master Qingyun in return. Master Qingyun's face turned pale, and he immediately knelt on one knee to the master of the outer sect, Lu Feichen, and said loudly, many meridians in Luo Xiu's body were broken. Zhang Luoyang, as the chief officer of the examination, is seeking revenge for personal gain. I hope Master will understand. Many meridians in his body were broken. Hearing this, Lu Mengyao was the first to be unable to sit still, and stood up. Master, the injuries on Luo Xiu's body were not caused by me, but the injuries he suffered when fighting with Wang Can. Zhang Luoyang immediately defended. Zhang Luoyang, you are talking nonsense. Master Qingyun roared. Facing the furious Qingyun Palace master, Zhang Luoyang sneered, just imagine, he is a Qi high level 2, but he defeated Wang Can, who practiced the 5th grade martial arts, with one move. He must have used some forbidden technique that killed 1,000 enemies and injured 800 of his own. It is understandable that young people are eager to win, but using forbidden techniques to hurt others and yourself is their own fault. Why should you blame me? Zhang Luoyang looked wronged and aggrieved. He dared to be ruthless to Luo Xiu, so he had prepared some excuses long ago. Lu Feichen had a blank expression on his face, and his eyes fell on Zhang Luoyang, which made him tremble and lower his head, not daring to look at the master. Come here. Lu Feichen spoke softly. Immediately afterwards, two figures appeared like ghosts, dressed in black, with a gloomy aura. Black-clothed guardians, take Zhang Luoyang down. Yes, that without saying a word, the two black-clothed guardians jumped onto the arena and restrained Zhang Luoyang on the left and right. Seeing this, Zhang Luoyang's expression changed drastically. Master, I am innocent. Lu Feichen's face turned cold. Do you think this master is blind? This master is in charge, and you dare to do something in secret, and you still dare to say that you are innocent? Imprisoned in the water prison, abolished his cultivation, and put the iron chain through his scapula. Lu Feichen said coldly. No matter how Zhang Luoyang shouted that he was innocent, the two black-clothed guardians directly took him away. It was not until this time that Zhang Luoyang suddenly realized that he was really smart and made a mistake. If Lu Feichen, the master of the outer sect, was not present, no one would be able to see what he did in secret, but Lu Feichen is a strong man in the 9th level of the soul refining realm. His soul perception is as clear as seeing fire. He has already seen his little movements clearly when he took action. No matter what, Luo Xiu is also the lifesaver of his daughter, and he has shown good talent. For both public and private reasons, he must severely punish Zhang Luoyang. When Luo Xiu woke up from his coma, he found himself in a simple and clean room. Recalling that he was seriously injured by Zhang Luoyang's palm wind, his first reaction was to practice the pure yang gong, and use the true qi to travel all over his body to check his body. What a vicious old thing! After checking the internal situation of his body, Luo Xiu's eyes revealed a stern murderous intent. There were 21 broken meridians in his body, and the true qi could not circulate in the big circle. If a normal warrior could not find a natural treasure to continue to borrow meridians, his life would be ruined and he would not be able to continue to practice internal skills. When he abolished Zhang Hai's cultivation, he used this method. In addition to the broken meridians, Luo Xiu's injuries also had a cold qi force wandering around in his body, constantly eroding other intact meridians. If this continued for a long time, if this qi force could not be expelled, his meridians would be broken, and he would become a complete cripple, lying on the bed for the rest of his life. On the martial arts arena, Zhang Luoyang did not dare to kill, but if he did so, for a martial artist, becoming a cripple would be more unbearable than being killed. Squeak. At this moment, the door was slowly pushed open, and Lu Mengyao, who was dressed in a white dress and looked as light and unworldly as a fairy from the earth, walked in. Luo Xiu, are you awake? Seeing Luo Xiu open his eyes on the bed, Lu Menyao's face showed joy. From Lu Menyao's mouth, Luo Xiu learned that he had been in a coma for a day. The entrance examination has ended, and the final result is no surprise. He, Wang Can, and Su Ping have now become Xiaoyao outer disciples. Luo Xiu is awake. Another voice came from outside the door, and the outer sect master Lu Feichen walked in with a dragon-like tiger step. Father! Master! Luo Xiu and Lu Mengyao shouted at the same time. Lu Feichen nodded, turned his hand and took out a green jade bottle and handed it to Luo Xiu. In this green jade bottle is a tiger marrow pill, which is a 4th-grade elixir. Just take it and your severed meridians will be reconnected quickly. As for the cold energy in your body, it is caused by Zhang Luoyang's cold yin palm. After your meridians are renewed, I will have someone come to help you expel it. Obviously, Lu Feichen had already seen Luo Xiu's injury and prepared a method for his recovery. Thank you very much, Master, for your kindness. Luo Xiu immediately thanked him and reached out to take the cyan jade bottle. In fact, for Luo Xiu, broken meridians are not a big problem. With the means of repairing life meridians, he can recover even from more serious injuries. The only troublesome thing is the cold energy left by Han Yin Palm, which is difficult to expel based on his cultivation level. You don't need to thank me. You cured Mengyao's Huiyang Jumai. Even if you are her savior, as a father, I should give you some help. Lu Feichen said with a smile, and immediately said nothing more. He just told Luo Xiu to have a good rest and recover, and then left. Lu Mengyao left with Lu Feichen. Now she is no longer the teacher of Qingyun Martial Palace, but the daughter of the master of Xuanhuan sect. Here she can be said to be inferior to one person and superior to 10,000 people. Luo Xiu could tell that Lu Feichen seemed to deliberately not want Lu Mengyao to be alone with him, probably because of this gap in status, and for Lu Feichen, a fourth-grade elixir that can renew the meridians is of immeasurable value, which is enough to repay Luo Xiu's kindness for curing the Huiyang Jueme. Luo Xiu didn't take this to heart, and he never thought of asking for any benefits from curing Lu Mengyao's Huiyang Jueme. The reason why he came to Xuanhuan was partly to pursue his own martial arts path, and partly because of the agreement between him and Lu Mengyao. In the silent room, Luo Xiu took out the fourth-grade elixir Tiger Marrow Pill. This elixir was refined from the bone marrow of the fourth-order tiger demon. The essence contained in it was majestic and gentle. It not only allowed warriors below the realm of refining gods can use it to renew their meridians, and it can also allow those who are strong in the realm of refining gods to recover most of their injuries. Such a fourth-grade elixir is undoubtedly a life-saving precious thing for a Qihai warrior or an innate martial artist, but Luo Xiu has in his hands a fifth-grade healing elixir that is better than the Tiger Marrow Pill. Therefore, to Luo Xiu, this Tiger Marrow Pill is not precious at all, and Luo Xiu does not need any healing pills to restore the damaged meridians. 3 days later, Luo Xiu walked out of his residence for the first time. All the 21 broken meridians had been restored. During these 3 days, Lu Mengyao would come to see him once a day, but every time he could not stay for a moment, he would be called away by someone sent by his father, Master Lu, for various reasons. After learning that Luo Xiu had recovered, Lu Mengyao rushed over immediately. Also coming with her was an elder from the outer sect who was a martial arts master in the realm of refining gods. This elder's name was Zhao Qiuan, and it was arranged by Master Lu to help him expel the cold energy from his body. With his cultivation as a master of Shinran martial arts, it is naturally easy to expel the qi of Hanyin Palm. Little guy, although your talent is good, your cultivation time is still short after all. I would like to advise you, it is best not to get too close to Mengyao. Before leaving, Elder Zhao Qiuan said this meaningfully. He wanted to avoid being disturbed while he was healing, so Lu Mengyao was outside the door at the moment and was unaware of the conversation between the two. The elder means that my strength is too weak, right? Luo Xiu said with a smile. Zhao Qiuan looked startled and frowned slightly. You are right. If you have strong strength, you can do whatever you want. Maybe you think that with your talent, you can become a strong person in the future, but that is in the future after all. Not now. From his experience, he couldn't tell Luo Xiu's little thoughts, but Zhao Qiuan didn't say it too straightforwardly. He hoped that Luo Xiu could retreat despite the difficulties. Master Lu asked me to bring you a message. Elder, please speak. Luo Xiu asked curiously. If you can become the #1 person in the outer sect before you turn 18, you are barely qualified to be my daughter. Zhao Qiuan said Lu Feichen's original words, stood up, opened the door and left. Become the #1 person in the outer sect before the age of 18? Luo Xiu thought about the meaning behind this sentence. As far as he knew, many people in the Xuanhuan sect had reached the peak of the 9th level of the Qi Si, which meant that Lu Feichen's request to him was to allow him to advance to the 9th level of the Qi Si within 4 years. Among the 18 city martial halls in Yunlong County, anyone who can break through to the Qi Si realm before the age of 18 is considered a genius, but Lu Feichen requires him to reach the 9th level of the Qi Si before the age of 18. Luo Xiu, a soft voice came into his ears, and Lu Mengyao walked in and said with a smile, Elder Zhao helped you drive away the cold energy. Why are you so dazed? Luo Xiu came back to his senses, smiled slightly, looked directly into Lu Mengyao's eyes like autumn water, and said with a smile, I was thinking, how can I be worthy of you, the daughter of the master of the outer sect? Although reaching the 9th level of Qi Si before the age of 18 seems unbelievable, Luo Xiu has enough confidence to do it. Hearing Luo Xiu's words that were almost a confession, Lu Mengyao was stunned for a moment, feeling like a deer in her heart, and 2 red clouds appeared on her cheeks involuntarily. Luo Xiu, I. For a moment, Lu Mengyao didn't know what to say. Seeing her shy look, Luo Xiu couldn't help but grab her hand. "Mengyao, you said you would wait for me at Xiamen. Now that I'm here, I will definitely make great achievements and have a life worthy of me." Your identity and status. Although the two of them had faced each other naked several times, at that time it was after all to cure the Huiyang Jueme. At this moment, Luo Xiu grabbed her little hand, and Lu Mengyao suddenly panicked, looking at Lu Mengyao's back as she ran away with a blushing face. Luo Xiu's calm eyes revealed incomparable determination. He knows very well that this world still relies on strength. Only with strong strength can one have a high enough identity and status. What Luo Xiu wants is not to let Master Lu think that he is qualified to be with Lu Mengyao, but to let Lu Feichen know that Mengyao being with him is the most correct choice. Chapter 47, 5th Grade Martial Arts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Luo Xiu's residence is in the Xiaoyao Outer Sect's residence. Every Outer Sect disciple has an independent residence here. When Luo Xiu fully recovered from his injuries, he learned that Zhang Luoyang's cultivation had not been disabled, nor had his pipa bone been penetrated. Not only that, Zhang Luoyang was also released from the water prison, still serving as the deacon of the Outer Sect. This matter is definitely not good news for Luo Xiu. From Lu Mengyao, Luo Xiu learned that Zhang Luoyang was personally protected by an inner sect elder. The Xiaoyao sect is divided into the Outer Sect and the Inner Sect. The Inner Sect has a transcendent status, and the status of the Inner Sect elders is even higher than that of the master of the Outer Sect. Zhang Luoyang has tried to kill me many times but failed. He must not give up. He actually has an Inner Sect elder as his backer. After careful consideration, Luo Xiu decided to keep a low profile in the recent period. He knew very well that his relationship with Zhang Luoyang was already a life-or-death relationship. The reward for first place in the entry examination is 3 qi refining pills. Under normal circumstances, 1 qi refining pill can allow a qi C warrior to advance to a small level. Of course, this kind of pill cannot be used indefinitely. The interval between taking each qi refining pill is about 1 year. The reason for this restriction is that if you continue to take the qi refining pill, the effect of the medicine will only become weaker and weaker, and it may even make the body of the warrior dependent on the pill, which will affect your future martial arts progress. Moreover, it would take an ordinary Qi C warrior close to a year to completely refine and absorb the power of a Qi refining pill. In the room, Luo Xiu took out the Qi refining pills and threw one into his mouth. Soon, the power of the Qi refining pill spreads out in the body and turns into pure vitality. It is impossible for ordinary Qi-high warriors to refine so much medicinal power at one time, so most of the essence will be dormant and stored in the warrior's body. Refining slowly over time, but for Luo Xiu, there is no such so-called restriction. The wheel of life and death. As Luo Xiu's thoughts moved, the wheels of life and death in the center of the Dantian Qi Si quickly rotated, causing the mist-like Qi in the Qi Si to also rotate rapidly, forming a mist whirlpool and generating a huge devouring force. Luo Xiu immediately activated the pure yang technique and began to quickly absorb the refining medicinal power. In this way, Luo Xiu practiced in the room for a day. When he opened his eyes, it was already the morning of the next day. It only took a day for the medicinal power of a qi refining pill to be absorbed and refined, and the mist-like qi in the Dantian Qi Si became increasingly thick and majestic. At the third level of Qi Si, the efficacy of qi refining pill is quite good. Luo Xiu smiled with satisfaction, stood up and stretched his muscles, pushing open the door and walking to the yard outside. Luo Xiu performed a set of dragon and tiger fists to relax the stiff muscles and bones that had been sitting for a day. At the third level of Qi Si, you can practice 5th level martial arts. Generally speaking, 5th level martial arts are suitable for the 3rd to 6th levels of Qi High. Luo Xiu has 18 5th grade martial arts at his disposal, including internal strength, martial arts, and body skills. There are also swordsmanship, martial arts, and body skills suitable for your own practice. Back in the room, Luo Xiu carefully selected the Aurora sword technique, which is a sword technique that is good at speed. If combined with the power-generating skills of the quick sword technique, the power would definitely be comparable to that of the 6th grade sword. Martial arts. As for the body technique, Luo Xiu also chose one, called 10 Directions Afterimage. In the beginning of this body technique, one can transform into one afterimage. After a small amount of practice, 3 afterimages can be formed, and so on. In the great perfection state, one movement of the body can produce 10 afterimages, making it difficult for the opponent to identify which one is the real body. Luo Xiu, a familiar voice came from outside the room, causing a smile to appear on Luo Xiu's lips involuntarily, putting away the martial arts secrets. Luo Xiu stood up, opened the door, and saw Lu Mengyao standing outside, wearing a long blue dress, with her fair and jade-like skin and her stunning appearance. Luo Xiu was stunned, unable to look away. Being stared at by Luo Xiu like this, Lu Mengyao couldn't help but feel a hint of shyness on her face, but she felt a little complacent in her heart. Although the relationship between the two has not been made clear yet, they are very clear about each other. "Bad guy, have you seen enough?" Lu Mengyao said coquettishly. She didn't know how she fell in love with Luo Xiu, a guy who was only 14 years old. "Have you seen enough?" "I can't see enough in my life," Luo Xiu said seriously with a straight face. "I know how to be glib." Lu Mengyao gave him a charming roll of her eyes, and then got back to the subject, saying, "You won the first place in the entry examination, and you can enter Xiaoyao Pavilion to choose a 5th level martial arts. When your cultivation reaches the breakthrough level, if you reach the 3rd level of Qi Si, you can practice directly." Luo Xiu did not release his aura at this moment, so Lu Mengyao could not tell at a glance that he had actually reached the 3rd level of Qi Si. "Well, you might as well go and have a look." Luo Xiu nodded and said, "Compared to King Buchanwu, Xiaoyao sect is after all the dominant force in Yunlong County and has a wide variety of martial arts collections. Perhaps among them there are martial arts that are better than Aurora Sword Art and 10 Directions Afterimage, but that is not necessarily the case." Walking side by side with Lu Mengyao through the path of the outer sect, many outer sect disciples looked at Luo Xiu with coldness in their eyes. As the daughter of the master of the outer sect, Lu Menyao's status is extraordinary, and it has an extraordinary meaning to many young people in the outer sect. Luo Xiu disagreed with the hostility of many outer sect disciples. The path of martial arts itself had to go through many hardships and tests, and he was not afraid of any challenges. Not long after, Luo Xiu and Lu Mengyao came to Xiaoyao Pavilion, where many martial arts are collected. There are 2 floors in Xiaoyao Pavilion. The first floor contains 5th grade martial arts, and the second floor contains 6th grade martial arts. If you want to practice higher level 7 martial arts, you can only get the inheritance by entering the inner sect and becoming a core disciple. 7th level martial arts is already the highest inheritance of Xiaoyao sect, so naturally it cannot be taught casually. Even some elders in the inner sect are not qualified to practice it. There are many 5th level martial arts on the first floor, including boxing, kicking, palm, fingering, knife, sword and so on, but Luo Xiu took a cursory look and found no more sophisticated martial arts than the Aurora Sword Art and the afterimage of the 10 Directions. After walking around, Luo Xiu frowned slightly. If he did not choose 5th grade martial arts, but he suddenly displayed 5th grade martial arts in the future, and he did not possess it in Xiaoyao Pavilion, how would he explain it then? Thinking of this, Luo Xiu told Lu Mengyao about King Wu's treasure house. As for the dangerous life and death process, he directly omitted it. He believed Lu Mengyao, so he told her. Although Luo Xiu said it lightly and the harvest from King Wu's treasure trove seemed rich, Lu Mengyao knew very well that there was no opportunity in this world that was obtained for nothing. The better the opportunity, the greater the danger, but she didn't expect that Luo Xiu would actually get a treasure house left by the strong martial king. The wealth and resources in it would make even the highest level of Xiaoyao sect excited. Luo Xiu, you don't have to worry about this matter. Many disciples are practicing outside, and sometimes they will get the opportunity to acquire the inheritance of other martial arts. Whether it is the outer sect or the inner sect, there are no rules and regulations on this. Regarding Luo Xiu's question, Lu Mengyao gave an explanation. And if you have some martial arts secrets that you don't need, you can also take them out and include them in Xiaoyao Pavilion. Depending on the level of the martial arts secrets you provide, you can get certain rewards. Lu Mengyao then said, a 5th level martial arts can be exchanged for 3 qi refining pills. 3 qi refining pills? Luo Xiu was slightly startled. In terms of real value, 3 qi refining pills are not comparable to a 5th level martial arts, but it is useless to keep the extra martial arts, so replacing it with qi refining pills is a good choice. Luo Xiu didn't want to change the qi refining pill now. He had used one and had 2 left. He had just broken through to the 3rd level of qi C. It would take some time to stabilize his cultivation. He could exchange it later when needed. After leaving Xiaoyao Pavilion, Luo Xiu returned to his residence. While stabilizing the 3rd level of qi C cultivation, he also began to practice the Aurora Sword technique and the 10 directions afterimage body technique. Relying on the Thunder Sword technique and the Quick Sword technique, Luo Xiu understood the Aurora Sword technique very quickly. In less than half an hour, he mastered the basics of getting started. The Aurora Sword technique is divided into 3 moves, namely the Flashing Sword, the Life-Destroying Sword, and the Aurora Sword. By analogy with these 3 moves, each move is more powerful than the last. It took Luo Xiu a day to only master the Flash Sword initially. At the same time, Luo Xiu also began to practice 10 directions afterimage, visualizing the life diagram in his mind, and improving these 2 martial arts. As for internal strength, although Chunyang Gong is the top of the 3rd level, its actual effect is comparable to that of the 5th level internal strength. It is only because it is too difficult to practice that it is classified into the 3rd level. After his cultivation reaches the 7th level of Qi Si, Luo Xiu can practice Xiantian Kung Fu, combine it with Pure Yang Kung, and practice Xiantian Pure Yang. Unknowingly, Luo Xiu was immersed in understanding the mysteries of martial arts. Half a month had passed since he entered the Ziyuewei sect. During this period, the afterimages from all directions have directly cultivated to the Desheng state, and can differentiate into 7 afterimages. Through mutual reference and understanding of the Quick Sword art and the Aurora Sword art, Luo Xiu has also made great progress in the realm of swordsmanship, and has mastered the first 2 moves of the sword art, the Flashing Sword and the Life-Destroying Sword. However, the last move of the Aurora Sword was very difficult to practice. Luo Xiu could only perform it reluctantly. To fully master it, he probably needed to reach the level of mastery in swordsmanship. The so-called swordsmanship realm has nothing to do with the martial arts realm, but is a broad level of swordsmanship. According to the description in Quick Sword Ju, Luo Xiu's swordsmanship is currently at the level of minor success. There are also different paths in the realm of swordsmanship. For example, Luo Xiu takes the path of fast swords, others use subtle moves, and there are also people who can defeat 10,000 spells with one force, etc. Like swordsmanship, boxing skills and palm skills also have realm divisions in a broad sense. If the realm of swordsmanship can be extraordinary and transcend the level of Dharma, then it can be superb. Its skills are almost as good as the Tao, and it can step into the ranks of the sword. Swordsmanship and swordsmanship are as good as one's own. Luo Xiu knew very well that he was still far from the so-called realm of swordsmanship. Martial arts practice, whether it was cultivation or realm, had to be done step by step, and it was impossible to reach the sky in one step. In Ziyuewei, every month, elders from the realm of refining gods will give lectures. Luo Xiu had been here for more than half a month. On that day, an elder was giving a lecture, so Lu Mengyao came over and invited him to attend the lecture. The teaching elder was an old man with white beard and hair. In Luo Xiu's sight, the old man's life veins were shining with blue light. The life veins of body-refining warriors are white light, the energy veins of Si-Chi warriors are green light, the green light of innate martial arts masters is more intense, and when they reach the realm of God-refining, they emit blue light. Obviously, when one's cultivation reaches the realm of God-refining, the warrior's own life essence undergoes transformation, so it will be revealed through the life veins. Chapter 48: The Inevitable Fate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Through the aura emitted through the life veins, Luo Xiu felt that this outer sect elder was slightly weaker than Lu Feichen and Zhao Qiuan, and was probably in the early stages of God refining. The specific level was uncertain. The 9 levels of the Great Realm are divided in detail, with levels 1 to 3 being the early stage, levels 4 to 6 being the middle stage, levels 7 to 9 being the late stage, and then the peak of the 9th level, from the 3rd level to the 4th level, from the 6th level to the 7th level, and from the 9th level to the peak of the 9th level. These 3 leaps are a watershed. with a large gap in strength, in terms of the realm of Qi. C. The third level of Qi C is the same as the first and second levels of mist true Qi, but the true Qi is more powerful. Once entering the fourth level of Qi C, the mist true Qi will be transformed into a liquid state, which is a qualitative change. Crossover. Therefore, the fourth level of Qi C is the middle stage of Qi C, and the third level can only be the peak of the early stage. Martial arts masters in Yunlong County are rare, but in the Xiaoyao outer sect in Yunlong County, they are not uncommon. Any elder from the outer sect is a martial arts master in the realm of refining gods, a master at the ninth level of divine refining, like the sect leader Lu Feichen is even known as a great martial arts master. As for the Xiaoyao inner sect, Luo Xiu also heard Lu Mengyao mention it occasionally. It is said that all the inner sect disciples are in the innate realm, and the guardians are in the god refining realm. Only the strong ones who are kings in martial arts can become elders. What the teaching elders talked about were all about some martial arts techniques, or tips and various taboos when practicing internal strength. As a martial arts master in the realm of refining gods, the old man has a lot of experience. He also talked about some defense techniques, escape techniques, etc. when fighting monsters. Most of the outer disciples are relatively young. These basic skills are very practical. If they can understand them, they can better protect their lives in the future. When the lecturer finished speaking and left, Lu Mengyao was also ready to go back. I reached the realm of Qi C 4 years ago, but because of the Huiyang absolute vein, I have never been able to continue practicing and improve. Now that the Huiyang absolute vein no longer exists, it's time for me to practice hard. Lu Mengyao said with a smile, winked at Luo Xiu, and said playfully, I am older than you, and my cultivation level cannot be lower than yours. Lu Mengyao has never shown her cultivation in front of Luo Xiu, but to Luo Xiu, who can see the breath of life veins, her cultivation is no secret at all in Luo Xiu's eyes, the fifth level of Qi C. This is Lu Mengyao's cultivation. She is now 21 years old. According to the rules of Xiaoyao sect, if she cannot break through to the innate realm before the age of 25, she will never have the opportunity to enter the inner sect and practice higher martial arts. However, her father is the master of the outer sect after all. As long as the cultivation level is reached, he can enter Xiaoyao Pavilion and choose martial arts at will. Regarding Lu Mengyao's past events, Luo Xiu also heard some things from the outer sect. It seems that she reached the realm of Qi C when she was 10 years old. She reached the 7th level of Qi C at the age of 13, and the 9th level of Qi C at the age of 18. Such a speed of cultivation can be called the pride of heaven. However, the emergence of Huiyang Jumai caused her to plummet. Her cultivation retreated instead of advancing, until she fell to the 2nd level of Qi C. For some reason, she left Yunlong County and lived in Qingyun Martial Hall for 4 years. As for the reason for this, Lu Mengyao didn't say it, and Luo Xiu never asked. On the way back, 2 young men stopped Yifeng. They looked about 20 years old and had unkind expressions. Are you Luo Xiu? Number 1 in the entrance examination. The person who spoke was a young man in black. Although his words were very polite, his voice was full of disdain and provocation. Luo Xiu frowned slightly. You have something to do with me. Not far away, there was a young man in white clothes with an arrogant look on his brows. He didn't even look at Luo Xiu. He was arrogant. It's nothing, I just came here to inform you not to get too close to Miss Lu in the future. The young man in black said with a smile. Luo Xiu looked indifferent when he heard what the other party said. Just as he had expected before, because of Mengyao, he would definitely become the target of public criticism among the outer sect. I practiced in seclusion some time ago, and as soon as I came out, people immediately came to my door. It's not your turn to take care of my affairs. Luo Xiu said expressionlessly. Just like the martial palace, Ziyawei sect also does not prohibit its disciples from fighting. It is normal for the strong to bully the weak. If there is a deep hatred between each other, they can even apply to fight to the death. The outer deacons will act as impartialities and fight to the death on the battlefield. Even if they kill their opponents, they will not be held responsible. Boy, you are so crazy. The smile on the face of the young man in black disappeared. with a cold look on his face, don't think that ranking first in the entrance examination is a big deal. A mere second level of Qi and C cultivation is not enough for Xuanhuan. It's just the bottom one. Luo Xiu's face was cold and he retorted, you are only at the 6th level of Qi C. You are nothing in Xuanhuan sect. Through the breath of life veins, Luo Xiu could easily tell that this young man in black was at the 6th level of Qi C. For other early Qi C warriors, the 6th level of Qi C was unattainable, but Luo Xiu didn't take it to heart because as early as when he first broke through to the Qi C realm, he had killed Xuanhuan. 7th level of Qi C. What's more, his current cultivation level has been upgraded to the 3rd level of Qi C, and his martial arts and body skills have also been greatly improved. Naturally, he will not take a person at the 6th level of Qi C in his eyes. Are you looking for death? The young man in black's face darkened. How dare you, a 2nd level Qi Hai person, to look down on you at the 6th level of Qi Hai level? Do you believe that I can kill you casually? Jiang Dongqing, there is no need to talk nonsense with this kind of person. Let's stop talking. The young man in white not far away said suddenly. Don't worry, Mr. Yun, I'll do it right away. The young man in black responded with a smile, and the young man in white, known as Master Yun, nodded with satisfaction. Thunder explosion fist. Soon enough, the young man in black named Jiang Dongqing took action instantly, and a powerful explosive aura erupted from his body. What Jiang Dongqing performed was a 5th level boxing technique. The true energy seemed to be condensed into a thunder arc, and the air made an exploding sound with great power. Roll. Luo Xiu's hand moved instantly, and the special force generating technique of Kuai Jian Ju allowed him to strike extremely fast. Snapped. A loud slap came out. Jiang Dongqing still maintained his punching posture, but was slapped in the face by Luo Xiu, and his body spun and flew backwards. The shooting speed is so fast. He is Luo Xiu who ranked first in this year's entrance examination. He is indeed well deserved. There were also other outer disciples passing by nearby who stopped to watch and whisper. The young man in white clothes who was called Master Yun was also stunned, with an ugly expression on his face. He originally thought that Luo Xiu was just a newbie at the 2nd level of the Qi C, and could easily solve it with Jiang Dongqing's 6th level of Qi C. I didn't expect such a scene to happen. After Jiang Dongqing was slapped away, Luo Xiu's expression did not change at all and he continued to move forward. Stop! The young man in white shouted sharply. However, Luo Xiu turned a deaf ear to his words and had no intention of stopping at all. Chan! A bright sword light appeared. Luo Xiu ignored him, which made the young man in white take action angrily. His true energy condensed the sword light and shrouded Luo Xiu. Tamarin style. Luo Xiu moved his steps sideways, leaving an afterimage on the spot, and immediately punched out his fists, like a flying dragon soaring into the sky, and the light of true energy spurted out like a rolling wave. The young man in white raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect that Luo Xiu, a 2nd level Qi and C man, could be so powerful in body and martial arts. His left hand gathered his true energy and struck out a palm. After the fists and palms struck each other, the young man in white took a few steps back involuntarily. Holy crap! Is this kid a monster? He can actually force Lin Jingyun to take several steps back. I heard that he was still at the 2nd level of Qi C during the entrance examination, but the Jinqi fluctuations he showed just now were already at the 3rd level of Qi C. But even if he was at the 3rd level of Qi C, it couldn't be so powerful, right? Lin Jingyun is at the 7th level of the Qi C. He has cultivated the Shueyueliantian sword technique to a great level and is extremely proficient. That the nearby onlookers whispered. Anyone could tell that Luo Xiu was at the 3rd level of Qi C, but Lin Jingyun was at the 7th level of Qi C. Logically speaking, even if a dozen or so 3rd level Qi Cs joined forces, it would be impossible for Lin Jingyun to be the 3rd level Qi C cultivation level. Jingyun's opponent was forced back by Luo Xiu at this moment. If you didn't see it with your own eyes, it would be unbelievable. Lin Jingyun's face turned ugly when he heard the discussions from other outer sect disciples around him. Among the many disciples of the Xiaoyao outer sect, he was also a somewhat famous figure. Being forced back by Luo Xiu undoubtedly made him feel ashamed. At this moment, Jiang Dongqing, who had just been slapped away by Luo Xiu, came over, his face extremely gloomy, his eyes full of resentment. The two people came here this time with the intention of teaching Luo Xiu a lesson so that he would not dare to get too close to Lu Mengyao again, but they did not expect that it would be the two of them who lost their face. What? You can't do it alone, how about two people coming together? Luo Xiu sneered. Boy, I'm going to kill you. Jiang Dongqing roared and rushed towards Luo Xiu. His whole body's true energy shone with light, and he punched out as fiercely as a dragon and a tiger. His eyes were fixed on Luo Xiu's hands, because after just one time, he knew very well that Luo Xiu was quick to attack, so he took precautions in advance, but before he could reach Luo Xiu, a violent impact hit his chest. I clearly saw that he didn't take action. Jiang Dongqing's body flew out again, his eyes widened, a large mouthful of blood spurted out from his mouth, and he fell to the ground on his back. It was only then that he noticed that Luo Xiu did not take action, but kicked him away. Everything in martial arts in the world is invincible except speed. The great thing about Luo Xiu is not only his quick attack, but more importantly, he can see Jiang Dongqing's flaws and win with one strike. Jiang Dongqing is really like this. It's not good to offend anyone, but he offends this Luo Xiu. It's extremely embarrassing for Tang Chihai's 6th level to fall into such a situation. Hearing other people's comments, Jiang Dongqing's face turned red and he fainted from anger on the spot. Boom! At this moment, Lin Jingyan's aura bloomed, and it was biting and cold. Luo, I will make you unable to live or die. Although the outer sect has a rule not to kill each other, if you attack and beat the opponent to a disability, you will only receive some punishment at most. In this regard, Lin Jingyan was so confident that he was really malicious. You talk too much. Luo Xiu disagreed. I want to challenge you. Do you dare to follow me to the death row? Lin Jingyan was completely angered by Luo Xiu and yelled on the spot. Are you sure you want to follow me to the death stage? Luo Xiu narrowed his eyes. The death platform is a place where Xuanhuan sect disciples can resolve personal grievances. Once you step onto the death platform, unless your opponent is willing to let you go, one of you will surely perish. Obviously, when Lin Jingyan said such words, he already had the idea of putting him to death. For a person who wants to kill him, Luo Xiu naturally has murderous intentions, otherwise he will let the tiger go back to the mountain, and there will be endless troubles, because he knows very well that in this world where the strong rule the roost, there can be no mercy. Do you dare? Lin Jingyan was so powerful and intimidating. Why don't you dare? Luo Xiu agreed simply without any hesitation. From the moment Elder Zhao Qiyuan told him that he must become the number one in the outer sect before the age of 18 to be worthy of Lu Mengyao, Luo Xiu knew that his days of practicing in the Xiaoyao outer sect would inevitably involve a lot of fighting. A truly strong man cannot be achieved by practicing hard in seclusion, but by fighting step by step. This is the fate that everyone who wants to become a strong person cannot escape. Chapter 49, Being Teased. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xuanhuan sect has more than 1,000 disciples, almost gathering the elites of the younger generation in Yunlong County. The news that Luo Xiu, who ranked first in the entry examination more than half a month ago, was going to fight Lin Jingyan, who was slightly famous among the outer disciples, was going to fight at the death stage, soon caused quite a stir in the Xiaoyao outer sect. Is that guy Luo Xiu crazy? That when Su Ping and Wang can learn the news, they couldn't help but be stunned. It has been a while since I entered Xuanhuan. As a newcomer, it is normal to be bullied by some old people. Whether it is Su Ping or Wang Can, they can only swallow their anger, but Luo Xiu was completely different from them. He had no intention of keeping a low profile. If someone provoked him, he would fight back forcefully. If you want to fight to the death in Zhantai, you need to apply for notarization from the senior officials of the outer sect. If you kill the opponent in a private fight, you will be severely punished. Therefore, the duel between Luo Xiu and Lin Jingyan is scheduled for tomorrow at noon. not long after Luo Xiu returned to his residence, Lu Mengyao rushed over. Why did you agree to go to the death stand with Lin Jingyun? As soon as Lu Mengyao entered the door, her pretty face was covered with frost, and she stared at Luo Xiu with a reproachful look. I know you are very strong, but after all, your training time is too short. Even if you break through to the 3rd level of Qi Si, Lin Jingyun is at the 7th level of Qi Si, ranking 137th among the outer disciples. Lu Menyao's worries naturally have her reasons. The 137th ranking may not seem high, but there are thousands of disciples in the entire Ziyuewei sect. Those who can enter the top 150 are all well-known masters. Not to mention Luo Xiu's 3rd level of Qi Si, even her 5th level of Qi Si cultivation could only rank in the top 500 in the outer sect. If it were a normal fight, it would be fine. Lin Jingyun wouldn't dare to kill someone even if he had 100 guts to do so, but the battle stage was completely different. If someone was killed there, the other party would not be held responsible. Although Lu Menyao's words contained blame, Luo Xiu felt warm in his heart. He knew very well that Lu Mengyao cared about him, and that's why he acted like this. Don't worry, I have my own sense of discretion. Luo Xiu reached out and touched her fair and smooth cheek. When Luo Xiu told the story about how he was robbed and killed by Zhang Luoyang's 3 disciples in the Baki Mountains, Lu Mengyao was dumbfounded, with a look of shock on his face. You said you could kill a master at the 7th level of Qi Si. That if Luo Xiu hadn't understood Luo Xiu's character, if someone else had told her this, Lu Mengyao would have definitely thought that the other person was bragging. It's absolutely true, otherwise I'm not a fool. I would still fight to the death with Lin Jingyun even though I know I'm not my opponent. Luo Xiu said with a smile. Hearing what Luo Xiu said, Lu Mengyao let go of her worries. When she first learned about this matter, she was worried to death. Although he is 14 years old, he entered the martial arts hall to practice martial arts when he was 10 years old. He has endured all kinds of hardships for 4 years. If his face were not slightly immature, Luo Xiu's mentality is actually almost the same as that of an adult. Reaching out to twist a strand of Lu Menyao's hair, Luo Xiu said with a smile, if I want to be with you, I still have a long way to go. The intimate movements and tender words made Lu Menyao's heart tremble slightly. She was naturally very clear about this matter. As Lu Feichen's daughter, not only the outer sect but also the inner sect had many geniuses who were interested in her. Moreover, she also knew that Lin Jingyun's incident was also caused by her. Why, are you scared? Lu Mengyao smiled playfully. Afraid? What a joke. If I were really scared, would I still come? Luo Xiu laughed, suddenly moved forward, and kissed Lu Menyao's red lips directly. This sudden kiss made Lu Menyao's body freeze immediately, and the strong man's breath hit her face, making her feel confused and infatuated. Tasting the red lips wantonly, the window paper that had not been opened before was directly broken by Luo Xiu at this moment, letting go of his body and mind, and his hands wandered around Lu Menyao's body. For Lu Mengyao, who had never had this kind of skin-to-skin experience, this kind of intimate contact was completely different from the scene where she was naked to treat Huiyang Jimui. Just as the heat in her body gradually escalated, Luo Xiu's palms had already lifted up the blue skirt, and it went up along the smooth and white skin, and was about to cover 2 huge soft balls. Lu Mengyao suddenly woke up. No, do not want, that a trembling gasp came from her mouth, and she suddenly pushed Luo Xiu away with force. In an instant, the atmosphere suddenly became silent and calm. A flash of disappointment flashed across Luo Xiu's eyes, as if he still missed the wonderful feeling just now, and still didn't finish it. Lu Mengyao had her head lowered, her clothes and hair were messy, her left shoulder was half exposed, and there were kiss marks left by Luo Xiu just now on her fair neck. Mengyao, I love you. After a long time, Luo Xiu spoke, breaking the calm. When he said this, Luo Xiu walked towards Lu Mengyao, opened his arms, and wanted to hold her in his arms. Lu Mengyao took 2 steps back and avoided it. A complicated look flashed in her eyes like autumn water. Luo Xiu, don't do this. I'm not ready yet. Hearing this, Luo Xiu was startled. She said she was not ready yet. What did this mean? Did you reject me? Probably feeling that the atmosphere was a bit awkward, Lu Mengyao raised her face and smiled playfully. Don't get me wrong, you are still young and your body is not fully developed yet, so you can't do that kind of thing. When saying this, Lu Mengyao's eyes glanced at Luo Xiu's lower body intentionally or unintentionally. Seeing Luo Xiu's speechless and embarrassed expression, Lu Mengyao smiled, walked up to him, stood on tiptoes, and touched his lips lightly. When Luo Xiu came to his senses, Lu Mengyao had already straightened her clothes and pushed the door open, touching his lips and looking at his hands. Luo Xiu was stunned for a long time before he uttered a few words. Am I being teased? That he clearly remembered that he was the one who made the frivolous act. If Lu Mengyao hadn't pushed him away, Wu Shanyu would have been lying on the bed right now. Damn age. Luo Xiu gritted his teeth, but recalling the wonderful feeling of close contact just now, he couldn't help laughing. This is 14-year-old Luo Xiu, a young man who puts his ideas into action. Although the idea of pushing Lu Mengyao down did not succeed, Luo Xiu's mood was sweet. Recently, Luo Xiu also had a general understanding of the many rules of Xuanhuan sect. Among the thousands of disciples of Xuanhuan sect, there will be a ranking. Only those who can enter the top 200 can enjoy various superior cultivation treatments. Except for the top 200 people, the remaining 800 people are not qualified to enjoy the various resources provided by Xiaoyao outer sect, and they only have the status of outer sect disciples. Tomorrow at noon, he will have a decisive battle with Lin Jingyun on the decisive battle platform. For this duel, Luo Xiu cannot say that he is 100% sure, but he is at least 80% sure, without completely exposing his full strength. Lin Jingyun is ranked 137th among the outer disciples, and his cultivation is at the 7th level of Qi Si. It is said that he has practiced a 6th level martial skill called Xianfeng Gangqi. He only had a brief fight with Lin Jingyun before, and the other party did not show his true strength. In one day, he could not improve his strength much, and his martial arts practice had reached a temporary bottleneck, making it difficult to break through to a higher level. So Luo Xiu simply calmed down and stabilized his cultivation at the 3rd level of Qi Si. As long as his cultivation is completely stable, he can take the second Qi refining pill to reach the 4th level of Qi Si and enter the middle stage of Qi Si. In the room, Luo Xiu used the middle-grade Vitality Stone to activate the 5th-level spirit-gathering formation device obtained from King Wu's treasure house, and the efficiency of absorbing the vitality of heaven and earth increased by 5 times. Coupled with the additional improvement in cultivation efficiency caused by the Wheel of Life and Death, Luo Xiu's actual cultivation speed has reached more than 10 times that of the normal state. In this state, Luo Xiu's true energy condenses very quickly. As the true energy moves around the body, more and more true energy gathers in the sea of Qi, and the mist becomes more solid and dense. While stabilizing his cultivation, Luo Xiu also visualized the life context diagram in his mind and understood the first law diagram of the Wheel of Life and Death. According to the spirit of reincarnation, the 9-path law diagram of the Wheel of Life and Death contains the mystery of the original law of life and death. From the shallower to the deeper, if you can understand it, you can understand all kinds of martial arts magical powers. Luo Xiu could only scratch the surface of this first law diagram and figured out a martial art called the Seal of Life and Death. However, Luo Xiu's vision and knowledge are limited after all, and the Seal of Life and Death still has a lot of room for growth and needs to be continuously improved. The next morning, Luo Xiu walked out of the room and went straight to the Feilong Tower. There are 6 special places in Xuanhuan. Xiaoyao Pavilion is an important place for collecting martial arts. Qianji Tower is a place to hone your body skills. The 9 Illusion Formation is where you can train your will. There are also Qi Refining Tower, Body Tempering Valley. The final Flying Dragon Tower is an important place to test the battle ranking. The first 5 places are all used by outer disciples to improve their strength, and the final assessment of strength will be conducted in the Flying Dragon Tower. The Flying Dragon Tower is a 9-story tower, which means a flying dragon in the sky. It is said that if you can climb the 9th floor, you will be a dragon among men and a peerless genius. As far as Luo Xiu knew, there were formations on each floor of the Flying Dragon Tower, similar to the assessment of the Hunters Guild, with various opponents appearing. Every outer disciple has a chance to enter the Flying Dragon Tower once a month. The higher the ranking of Feilong Tower, the better training treatment you can get. It has been more than half a month since Luo Xiu came to Xuanhuan, And he just had the opportunity to enter the Flying Dragon Tower, when Luo Xiu came to Filong Tower. Many people had already gathered here. This 9-story tower is shaped like a dragon coiling column. The 9th floor at the highest point is in the shape of a dragon's head. Climbing up it will feel like standing on the top of the dragon's head. Brush, there was a flash of light, and a figure with a pale face and blood on his face was teleported out of the Flying Dragon Tower. Someone came out. It seems like a guy who just entered the escape gate this year. I know this kid. He is a young genius from the Wang family in Yushan City. This is his first time entering the Flying Dragon Tower. Let's see how high he ranks. The crowd gathered near the Flying Dragon Tower were talking a lot, and Luo Xiu also noticed at this time that the person who was teleported out of the Flying Dragon Tower was none other than Wang Can. Next to the Flying Dragon Tower is a huge stone tablet more than 10 meters high, with names engraved on it. Each person will be automatically ranked based on their performance in the Flying Dragon Tower. The clearest and largest fonts on the stone tablet are the names of the top 200 people. The names of the people ranked lower are so densely packed that it is difficult to find your own name. Wang Can ignored the blood on his face and ran over to check his ranking. After a long time, someone found Wang Can's ranking and shouted, "I found it." Wang Can, ranked 936th. Chapter 50 Flying Dragon Tower Ranking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ranked 936th, that when Wang Can saw his ranking, his face suddenly became extremely ugly. When he was in Yushan City, he was promoted to the 3rd level of Qi Si at the age of 15. Even the talented elites in the Martial Palace were far from being able to compare with him. Coupled with the special opportunity that later gave him the inheritance of the 5th level swordsmanship, he has always regarded himself as a peerless genius and did not take others of his age into consideration. But when he came to take part in the assessment of Xuanhuan sect, he met Luo Xiu. His proud strength was completely crushed and he was completely defeated. That fiasco made him reflect deeply, and he felt that it was not that he was too weak, but that Luo Xiu was too strong and too perverted. But at this moment, he came to Filong Tower with full confidence, but he was only ranked 936th. There are thousands of disciples of Xiaoyao outer sect, and this ranking can be said to be at the bottom. Wang Can's blood-stained face showed a bitter smile. It turns out that it was me who thought it was what I thought. Call yourself a genius? It's just self-righteousness. Don't be so downcast. A voice suddenly came to Wang Can's ears. Wang Can looked back and saw Luo Xiu standing behind him. The Xiaoyao outer sect only accepts 3 disciples every year. The lowest strength at the beginning is the 2nd and 3rd levels of Qi Si. Even the disciples who were just accepted last year have 1 more year of training time than you and me. It is normal to be ranked at the bottom in the beginning. Luo Xiu said with a smile, I heard that many people who have just started can't even be ranked in the top 1000. Although Wang Can was once considered his opponent because of the competition for the first place in the assessment, after all, they entered Xuanhuan sect together. Seeing his dejected and forced smile just now, Luo Xiu couldn't bear it, so he said something to encourage each other. Thank you, Luo Xiu. Wang Can took a deep breath and felt a little better after hearing what Luo Xiu said. He has been practicing martial arts since he was a child, and has always had a smooth journey without any setbacks. The successive blows he suffered almost made him lose support for his belief in martial arts, but Luo Xiu's words at this critical moment almost pulled him back from the edge of degradation. Wang Can was very grateful and admired for his willingness to let go of the past and repay evil with kindness. Are you also here to participate in the Flying Dragon Tower trial? Wang Can calmed down and then asked Luo Xiu. Now I finally understand what it means that there is a world outside the world, and there are people outside the world. When I was in Yushan City, no one of my age could compare with me, but when I came to Xuanhuan sect, there were many people who were better than me. After all, Yushan City is a small place. On the territory of Yunlong County, it is just a tiny dot, but Xuanhuan gathers almost all the elite geniuses in Yunlong County. Seeing Luo Xiu's calm expression, he couldn't help but ask curiously, how high do you think you can rank? Who can know without trying it, Luo Xiu said with a smile. Because Luo Xiu came a little late, there were other people in front of Luo Xiu who entered the Flying Dragon Tower for the trial. After a long time, several more people were teleported out of the Flying Dragon Tower, all ranked around 700 or 800. Wang Can stood next to Luo Xiu. His expression became ugly again, but he also understood that he was a freshman after all, and there was a big gap between him and the old students. However, he is also confident that with his talent, in a few years, he will definitely have a place among the 200 most eye-catching people in the Flying Dragon Tower. Clenching his fists and gritting his teeth, Wang Can said, "I want to go back and practice hard. I hope Luo Xiu can achieve good results in the Flying Dragon Tower." As soon as the words fell, Wang Can turned around and left. He knew his shame and became brave. Not long after Wang Can left, it was finally Luo Xiu's turn to enter the Flying Dragon Tower. "It's that guy named Luo Xiu. I heard that this kid is going to compete with Lin Jingyun on the decisive battle platform today at noon. The 3rd level of Qi Si will challenge the 7th level of Qi Si. It's true that newborn calves are not afraid of tigers. Lin Jingyun is ranked 137th. If he doesn't even rank in the top 150, he will definitely die at the hands of Lin Jingyun. Are you kidding me if you are in the top 150 in the 3rd level of Qi Si? Those who can be in the top 150 are at least the 7th level of Qi Si. If you can be in the 700th level in the 3rd level of Qi Si, you are considered a genius." That everyone was talking about it, but no one was optimistic about Luo Xiu, because among the many outer sect disciples, which one was not a genius from the martial arts families in various cities in Yunlong County before coming to Xiaoyao outer sect? Even if one is ranked first in the entry examination, one will appear every year, and in this Xiaoyuemen, there are still a lot of them. Amidst the discussion, Luo Xiu walked into the first floor of Feilong Tower. The formation in the first level was activated instantly, and Luo Xiu seemed to be on a vast prairie. Roar! Beast roars sounded one after another. Not far from Luo Xiu, there were 15 monsters. With sharp claws, bloodthirsty eyes, and cold fangs, these are 15 second-level monsters. The aura of each monster is comparable to that of a 3rd-level Qi Si warrior. On the first floor of the Flying Dragon Tower, we actually face 15 level 2 monsters. Luo Xiu's eyes were sharp. Although these were ordinary 2nd-level monsters, there were so many of them. Without the strength of Qi Si level 4 or above, it would be difficult to pass. As far as he knows, those who can pass the first level can probably rank around 700 on the ranking list. Of course, the ranking is based on the speed of killing monsters and the extent of one's own injuries. Roar! It is impossible for monsters to fight against people alone. The moment the formation was activated, 15 second-level monsters swarmed up and rushed towards Luo Xiu from all directions. The first thing that pounced on Luo Xiu was a tiger beast with thick skin and thick flesh that was difficult to hurt with a sword. Dragon Tiger Fist. Luo Xiu did not draw his sword, but clenched his fist, condensed his true energy, and blasted out his fist like lightning, directly sending the tiger beast flying. The body collapsed in mid-air and turned into light spots and floated away. The occurrence of this effect means that Luo Xiu's punch just now was enough to cause a fatal attack on a 2nd-level tiger beast. This tiger beast was just one of the 15 monster beasts. Luo Xiu's body movements did not pause at all. The moment the other monster beasts rushed toward him, a cold light flashed in his eyes. Chang! His sword suddenly came out of its sheath. The shadow sword was like a black light, and he used the first form of the Aurora sword technique, the flashing sword. The sword light flashed, blood flew freely, and the 2 monster beasts were instantly decapitated. Their bodies collapsed and disappeared. The movement of Luo Xiu's sword was almost invisible to the naked eye. He could only see the black sword flickering like light and thunder. In just a short moment, all 15 second-level monsters were killed by Luo Xiu. The surrounding scene suddenly changed, the prairie disappeared, and Luo Xiu was still on the first floor of the Flying Dragon Tower surrounded by stone walls. Returning the sword to its sheath, he walked towards the stairs and climbed to the 2nd floor. There was no scene change on the 2nd floor of the Flying Dragon Tower, but 15 figures appeared directly. Each one was wearing white clothes, with blurred facial features. If they were holding weapons, they might have empty hands. There are still 15 opponents. but the auras of these figures are very powerful, comparable to the 5th level of Qi Si. Base. A warrior figure came to kill with a sword. Before the sword edge touched Luo Xiu, a black light flashed and cut off his head. At this moment, 2 sword lights struck. Luo Xiu left an afterimage on the spot and avoided the blow. Immediately afterwards, the second afterimage, the third afterimage, the fourth afterimage. In just a short moment, Luo Xiu, under the siege of these figures of the 5th level warriors of the Qi Si, transformed into 7 afterimages, and used the 10-direction afterimage technique to its limit. Brush. The shadow sword light flashed past, and the attacks of other warrior figures hit the 7 afterimages he had transformed, but his sword instantly killed another 5th level Qihai. Relying on the ghostly movement skills of the Xuanhuan afterimage, Luo Xiu can easily avoid most attacks even if he is besieged. Some of the attacks that cannot be avoided can also be blocked with the extremely fast sword speed, and if he wanted to kill someone, he would kill him with one strike with lightning and flint. It's been half an hour, why hasn't Luo Xiu come out yet? Hehe, maybe I escaped with my life when being chased by 15 monsters on the 1st floor. If you can't pass the 1st level, your ranking will be about the same as Wang Can's at most. How about you guess how many places this Luo Xiu can get? Near the Flying Dragon Tower, many outer disciples naturally discussed it. At this moment, in the 2nd floor of the Flying Dragon Tower, Luo Xiu's shadow sword was flying in his hand, and each sword was as fast as aurora lightning. It can be said that he displayed his fast sword skills to the fullest. Heads flew up one after another, and blood gushed out like a fountain. Luo Xiu, dressed in black, had an expressionless face. Every time he drew his sword, he would kill someone. Finally, all 15 of the 5th level Qi Si in the 2nd level were killed by him. However, Luo Xiu also felt uncomfortable. Although Xuanhuan Remnant's body skills were perfect, facing the siege of 15 5th level Qi Sis, some attacks still could not be completely avoided. The black clothes on his body were damaged in many places, and nearly half of his energy was lost, but his life was not in danger. According to the rules of the Flying Dragon Tower, once the disciples who come in for training are threatened by their lives, they will be teleported out directly. According to Luo Xiu's estimation, without the strength of Qi Si level 7 or above, it is absolutely impossible to pass the 2nd level. I don't know what kind of opponents will appear in the 3rd level. Luo Xiu's eyes were full of fighting spirit, and he immediately walked towards the stairs on the 3rd floor. As soon as I stepped onto the 3rd floor, the surrounding scene changed rapidly, with ice and snow covering the sky and mountains across the sky. When walking on the snow, there would be a creaking sound, and a cold wind hit, making Luo Xiu shiver. The environment in which the formation evolved in the Flying Dragon Tower is too realistic. Luo Xiu circulated his true energy to dispel the cold air that invaded his body. At this moment, his opponent on the 3rd floor appeared. It was a wolf beast with a head nearly 2 meters high, a body 5 or 6 meters long, and covered with snow-white fur. Snow Demon Wolf. Luo Xiu's pupils shrank and his expression was stern. This is a 2nd-level monster, but it is the best among the 2nd-level monsters. Even the masters in the late stage of Qihai may not be able to win in one-on-one situations, but in front of him, 15 snow demon wolves appeared. Each demon wolf is strong, with scarlet eyes, as if they are extremely hungry, full of evil aura, and extremely aggressive. 15 snow demon wolves meant that Luo Xiu was facing 15 warriors above the 7th level of the Qi Si. Kill! Luo Xiu shouted loudly, raised his sword and left. The ground was covered with silver, and only the black sword light cut through the air. In just a short moment, Luo Xiu's body was already covered in blood. These bloodstains include those of the snow demon wolf and his. The corpses of the snow monster wolves fell to the ground one after another, and then turned into light spots and disappeared, but the lifelike battle process and the flying blood seemed to be real. Puff! A sharp claw struck, and Luo Xiu could no longer dodge. He tried his best to avoid the vital point. The flesh of his left shoulder was torn open, and blood flew everywhere. At the same time, the tyrannical force of the snow demon wolf knocked him upside down and rolled him in the snow. It seems that I am not strong enough to sweep across the Qi Si realm. Luo Xiu's rotation technique, a strong vitality force, escapes from the wheel of life and death in the Dantian. constantly repairing the life veins of the injured areas on the body. Although Luo Xiu was not afraid of being injured, Luo Xiu's energy was almost exhausted. After all, his cultivation level is still a little lower. He is only at the 3rd level of Qi Si. But his true energy is more powerful and pure than others in the same realm. What is really powerful about him is his sword skills and body skills, but similarly, the more powerful the moves are, the greater the loss of energy will be. Although the energy is almost exhausted, it shouldn't be a problem to pass through this 3rd level. Luo Xiu clenched the bloodstained shadow sword, his eyes overflowing with murderous intent.